Howdy, howdy, howdy. How's it going, everybody? Oh, getting off to a bang today, destroying my painting studio by moving lights around. That's always a good sign. It's really a sign that your whole situation is well constructed and well considered when moving one thing causes like 5 other things to fall apart, you know? Let's get some more lights on here. Go through my stack of brushes real quick. Genghis Khan was a great time. It was, tabletop gaming conventions are always smaller than pop culture cons, which is honestly really, really nice. Because anytime I go to a big convention, lore friendly, hey, good to see you. How you doing? Thanks for coming out. Basically anytime I've been to a big pop culture con, it's always been a big hullabaloo. I've always been in some stupid costume that's a major production to put on and take off and move around in, and they always end up being a bit of a nightmare, even though I have fun. But this was nice. The parking wasn't bad. The attendance was good, but not overwhelming. Things started on time, which in my experience is rare to say the least. I got there early. That never happens. It never happens. I never get anywhere early. We got a new screen set up today, so hopefully I can monitor the chat without having to look over at my screen at a 90-degree angle every few minutes. 4-hour meeting at work today. That does tell me something. That tells me that your day has been fucking tedious, is what it tells me, lore friendly. Hopefully we can change that a little bit. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to change that, but, you know, I'll be as entertaining as I generally am. I did something kind of stupid with the point system since the last stream. I put in some rewards that none of you should be able to afford at this point, given how short a time I've been streaming, but eventually, it might be worth spending some channel points on, who knows? I've noticed that's a feature that a lot of other streamers don't use much. Battletech scenario at PortalCon in March. What scenario are you going to run, JT? Oh. Yeah, if you had a 4-hour meeting at work, Vergaderung, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming out. If you had a 4-hour meeting at work, man, fucking kick the shoes off. Crack open a cold one, relax a little bit, and do nothing for the next few hours. That sounds terrible. Verg, Sentient Pickle, good to see you, man. Verg, you're, and I'm going to be probably, when I'm speaking to you, addressing things much more down and to the right today, because I've set up a new stream, or a new screen for me to monitor chat with, and I think I'm going to change the location of my camera for next time. I wanted to tell you, though, Verg, your Oscout was MVP. On Sunday, man. Like, in a huge way, MVP. Now, that isn't strictly because of the excellent job that you did sculpting him, so much as the abysmal job that I did running my Warhammers and my Archer against, well, I mean, they're clan mechs. So even the kind of small ones, you're like, oh, what's that little guy got on him? And they'll be like, oh, 30 double heat sinks and like 12 pulse lasers, no big deal. Like, oh, Jesus, what am I even doing here? So my Warhammers got lit up real early. One of them went down in round 1 because just every single shot on the board hit him in the center torso, and it cored him pretty good. And then, the other Warhammer lasted a while. He took quite a beating. The Archer missed almost every shot with his Artemis 4s, which was disappointing as hell because they really didn't do me any good. Like 1 or 2 hits here or there. But the Ostscout, that was a different story. He flew across the board, and by round 2, he was punching and kicking. The game that I was playing as the Eridani Light Horse, trying to take out the artillery support for the Smoke Jaguars. And, no, I was not using semi-guided LRMs. Unfortunately, I was points and time period limited. I had to go with Artemis 4. But, yeah, but the second turn, I had my... Excuse me, I'm trying to straighten up my desk here to get started while I recount. But the Oscat was on the other side of the board, and I was trying to take out a couple of Clan Thors who were firing artillery into another game being played just down the table. And he just punched the shit out of that Thor. Just punched and kicked and stomped and punched and kicked. It ended up coming down to points as well, JT. I only had a BV2 of 5500 to work with, so I had to really pick and choose what I was bringing. And I really thought the Warhammers were going to be a bit more telling than they actually were. So I definitely sunk way too many points into them. I just found this Blackjack. I don't even know where the hell he came from. He's just been on my desk for a while, apparently. I'm gonna have to work on him. Not right now, but at some point. I think it's an old Alpha Strike sculpt. Cybran. Good to see you, man. Yeah, that's just it. And at the end of the game, so the thing is, I pulled off a minor victory. I still destroyed one of the Thors, and I managed to get off the field with a couple of mechs. So I didn't strictly lose, but I can say that losing a huge Warhammer in the first damn turn... well, it was, you know, it neutered my forces pretty effectively. I would have done more damage if I hadn't been missing one of my beat sticks almost immediately. So that was a fun time. But all in all, everybody had a great time. All the games were really good. My opponent was the organizer, so I was extra understanding of the fact that he needed to take breaks and run around answering questions and such periodically. But he handled it very well. He made rules calls, he answered rules questions, he had his laptop there ready to go with the rules documents, he was friendly, he was attentive. It was a fantastic event. It really was. And I'm hoping that we run more of them. I gave all of my older Hex Hills that I did before this latest round of the painted, sculpted Hex Hills, I gave that whole set to the organizer so that he can use them for arranging future games locally. So hopefully we'll get some more interesting games going. How do the mechs stand on the ramp? Are you talking about this ramp here, Verg? Because, we'll get to that. I intend to go over that in some detail, if you're interested. Because that is precisely what took so much time on this stupid thing. At this point, I have built 4 different designs of highway ramp. Both straight. I tried a clover at one point, and that was kind of interesting. I ended up landing on this ramp, and you can actually see one of the arches for this ramp there on the Ender 3 print cam on the upper right. But yeah, there's really no better time to go into how this all comes together, so why not? I'm going to move my camera up slightly so that you can get a better view. Pardon the movement. Just so that I can show this off with a little bit wider range. Oh, quit wobbling. This arm really does love to wobble. Alright. So, starting off with the basic pieces for the highway, we have the highway support, which was one of the first things I made. It works perfectly fine after the last redux that I did on it. I'm very pleased with how this came together. It's a real simple rail system, your basic highway pieces, and I need to reprint this because this was not done with ironing. I'll show you the surface of the other one done with ironing, and it gets so damn smooth that you can actually, like, you don't have to filler primer these. You can hit these with a Vallejo primer and just start painting. I really like that. These have just a simple slot in the bottom that puts them onto the support, and you can adjust where it sits on there depending on your underlying hexes. You can match it up just about perfectly with the board beneath by placing one of the halfway marks halfway on this middle one. But it's a little free form because I know that not all hexes and not all hex maps are created equally. So you can leave a little bit of a gap, or you can offset it if you need to, or you can just not try to line these hexes up with the underlying hexes at all if you don't want, and they still work perfectly fine. So, how to get to the ground from there. So this is our completed ramp. It's missing 2 parts, one of which is printing now, and the other one I will continue printing as the stream goes on. But this is the most complex print that I've made so far, and it's going to require probably the most effort on everybody's part to print it, but I think it's worthwhile. For which Railberg? A dovetail shape so it doesn't fall off. For the oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so I considered that, but here's one of the benefits to having it the way that it is. It's deep enough so that when this is situated on here, if you bump it from the side, it's not going to come off. Like, you can bump it even with a little bit of an upward motion, and it's pretty stable. So it's somewhat resistant to casual knocking around on the table, but it's also built in such a way that when you inevitably wind up beneath the highway, because it's a fairly significant width, it's 3 hexes. So if you've got guys beneath the highway, it won't be a problem for you to lift this right off without affecting the way that the rest of the board is set up, and then you can just reach right back in and gently set it back into place without it having to be like a whole operation. The theory here is to allow for maximum ease of play. And the first thing that I noticed when I had a tighter rail system on here was that if Cybran, thank you very much for the subscription. I appreciate that, man. The first thing I noticed was that when you start to move mechs under here, you start having to reach down and then under. And if you've got buildings here and you've got buildings here and you get like that, can be less than ideal. So instead, just go ahead and lift that away and do whatever play you need to down here, and then you can replace this easily. But so this guy is broken up into multiple pieces, 3 primary components that make up the overall length. And I did it this way because this way you are able to print this piece lying flat, this piece lying flat, and this piece lying flat. And what that gets you is this nice, smooth ironed surface on what is going to be an angled road. And if you just tried to print this at the angle that it would normally sit, about like that, what you wind up with is you can see it, and I kind of messed this up a little bit. This piece is kind of the jangliest, and I need to make a few modifications, but it all fits together decently. But you can see the, let me focus this. Oh, let me find an angle where you can actually see what I'm talking about here. Alright. So you see these steps, these print lines in here? Those would absolutely cover the road if you tried to print it at an angle instead of lying down. Yeah, I improved the Ender Cam somewhat. Hopefully it doesn't stutter as much now either. So this is down here because this is just the slot that it goes into, but instead of having those really, really obvious steps all the way along the length, you are able to print this flat, and you have a nice iron top surface for the entire thing. So this whole thing, like, you don't even have to really worry about doing filler primer on this. If you print this out and it all fits, just hit it with regular primer and start painting. You really don't have to worry about it. You'll have some print lines on the sides. I barely notice them on mine. You just don't look at this part very much. You'll have some print lines on the sides of these little guys that are designed for people to stand on. Again, I don't really notice them. All your top surfaces will be nice and smooth. So, you have this base component, which is where the highway will connect with the 4-lane road system. And then you have your basic ramp with all the slots and such. And there's this slot here, which is... I had to cut this off. I did have a bit of a misprint on this guy, and I lost power while printing the other one, but I think I got all the kinks worked out on the prototype print. I got to make a few adjustments to make it a little bit easier, but it all works pretty well. So this guy slots right into here. And this is a little bit tight. I'm going to loosen this up a little bit so that it dry fits easier. Because really, you don't strictly have to glue this. It fits tight enough as is. So then you have your... Oh, let me adjust my focus. And there we go. So then you've got your ramp connected to the bottom portion. And then you got your top portion here. There's a little bit of a tab. And there's a little bit of an insert tab on the top. And this goes together. Like so. And that puts all the tilt in it that you need. And this connects right up to one of the highway supports. Easy peasy. And then you can connect any other highway section that you want to it. You can put on a straight and have a nice straight shoot highway. I have one of my curves here, so you can immediately have it start moving 60 degrees in one direction or another. The curve, which by the way, because of the way this is designed, can go either way, just using the same piece. So you only really need to have the one file, which I rather like. And all of the road lines match up. You'll notice that it goes from 6 lanes down to 4 lanes by the time it hits the surface level streets. And my favorite part of all this is where the mechs can stand. So I'll show you the final pieces that go on here. Inferno War, you are absolutely correct. In Twiddle Cups, I will do precisely that for you here in just a moment. So, 1, 2, 3 pieces are what I've shown you so far, and then you have to print 4 more pieces, which are these arch pieces. You have to print 2 of each. I've got another one going on the Ender 3 right now. That should be done before long. And this just goes on in 2 sets. These slot down real nice and easy, and securely, into these slots here. And I did these this way because if these were a part of the flat top, when you were printing this flat, they would be at an angle and they would suffer from that exact same print line problem. So instead I made slots in separate pieces, and these can print going straight up, and then you get a nice iron top. All in all, the printing on this is designed so that you have to do minimal finishing work yourself, because I hate doing finishing work. Yeah, oh yeah, they get curves and corners. You know, there were like 4 people in the space of about 24 hours who came to me and said, man, we need turns for the roads. So, okay, fine, you're getting turns for the roads, and I would expect to see them very quickly. I've actually had more time to sit down and design lately, so I'm anticipating more products in general, which is pretty exciting. Less work is absolutely better, Twiddle Cups. Absolutely correct. Oh, do-do-do-do-do. That's my song, you like it? Okay, so, what I really want to show off here, my favorite thing about all this, and I'll do it with the Beast of Bodmin Wolverine that I've got here, is, okay, so you've got your various hexes. And that's all well and good. These are, of course, at ground level, and these are your usual stable hexes. And then you start with level 1 on these hexes. And each one of these, each and every one, has enough support points for a mech to stand quite comfortably in a flat position that will not fall over. I'm so pleased with how this came out. This took a couple of goes for me to figure out kind of how to disguise these steps, and they wound up being these little raised barriers, which I don't necessarily love, but I figure if it's a modern city and there are mechs fighting in it, there's probably some sort of civil defense authority that would close off the roads, so you get some little roadblocks that also serve to stabilize your mechs when they're standing in the actual hexes. And then as you go up the ramp, these would also be right here, but I'm just going all the way up to, we'd have level 2 here, and then we'd have level 3 here. And you can stand here, and you can stand here, and you can... So this is the only one that I need to change, are these hexes here. And that's just because these little walls got a divot in them, because I thought it looked cool. And it turns out that the official mechs bases with the hollow bottoms, the ones that you get from CGL, they don't like to stand on these. If you put yourself in the middle hex here, you're going to wobble from side to side, because it doesn't fully support the edge. Which was unintentional, but that's an easy fix, so any files I put out are going to have that fixed on them. If you're flat-bottomed, you can already stand perfectly fine in every single legal hex space with no problem. Going up and down one level each time. I love this. I'm so happy with how this came out. If a mech slides off IRL, piloting roll. You shouldn't have that issue. This should all be pretty damn stable. The other thing, and I'm going to do this when I'm probably going to be painting one of these on stream on Thursday. At least one of these. I'm going to be painting some more roads. Yeah, I like to fill in the bottoms too, or just use my own bases entirely. But I will more than likely be painting one of these. And because mechs never actually go to the bottom here, I'm thinking that I can go ahead and permanently put some little 6mm cars into various lanes to help sell the scale. Like there, for instance. I don't know, I'll play with it. But you can make it a little bit more city-looking without interrupting gameplay, and that's really always my thing. I love 3D terrain, I love dioramas, I love board effects, I love all of it, but what I hate is when you have that, and that limits the way you can actually play the game mechanically. So, I always try to kind of move away from that. Printing gray to make painting easier? Yeah, you can totally do that. My first round of these were all done in gray, and it does make it easier because then even if you rub some paint off, it just looks like concrete beneath. And you wanted a close-up on the roads themselves, so you can see that here at the top it's the standard highway, 6 lanes, 3 on each side, and then as you go down the ramp, your third lane ends right about at the second set of barricades, and then the road begins to narrow down until you're at 4 lanes on the bottom. It literally makes no difference to gameplay at all. I didn't have to do it, but I did because I wanted to. One other thing that's kind of cool that I don't think anybody will even notice if I don't say it, so I'm going to say it, is the way the hexes are oriented on this. If you were to take this piece and lay it flat, you would find that the hexes are slightly elongated, and that's just because these hex marks were done from an actual grid laid out this way and then projected downward. So these hexes are at an angle, but from a straight down angle, they are absolutely accurate while still being on the tilted surface. So this whole thing will work with any 1.25-inch hex system. It maintains the precise hex size across the entire system. It absolutely does, and that's the truth of it, Sentient Pickle, is that this, if you're putting this over a 1.25-inch hex map, the hexes on this tilted section will line up with the hexes that are on the map beneath. Daylight Gamer is here for the dick names. That's right, we were on his stream earlier naming our dicks. It was a good time. And talking about Willem Dafoe. Have you guys heard this? Anybody know about Willem Dafoe, apparently on the set of that movie that he did with Lars von Trier, Antichrist, for a massive non sequitur, because we were just talking about robots. Woo! Cheering for Willem's dong. Good lord. Yeah, Willem Dafoe has a massive lap hog, you guys. Apparently when he was filming Lars von Trier's Antichrist, they actually had to put a smaller prosthetic penis on this man, because he was making people uncomfortable. Which, I don't even care if that's true or not, that's just hardcore. What a good time for you to tune in, Leafback, right when I'm talking about Willem Dafoe's junk. That's fantastic. Leafback, you mean this model here, the 3D printed highway? I was just talking about this. I'll put it together again to show you how it goes. And I'll probably bring it up again a little bit later. But it's a 3-piece print that prints flat, so you can use minimal supports and have nice ironing on top. And this was designed by me. This goes with the rest of the Trinity City Hextech terrain system. But it snaps together, and it connects up with the other highway pieces so that you can have a nice connection from your city surface roads up into a raised highway, complete with hexes. I'm pretty pleased with how the whole thing has come together. This ramp took me an embarrassingly long time to finish, but every time I came up with a concept for it, my mechanical requirements butted heads with that. It would be easy as hell to just throw together a ramp that fit into some hexes and attach it, but making a ramp that also allows you to play on it effectively because, and I don't want to repeat myself too much, even though I feel certain I'm going to do this again before this stream is over. I mean, every single hex that we're in here, except this one because it doesn't have the printed pieces I need to put there, but they would just be like this. Every single hex is a legal position, can support a mech. Every single one. You can stand in all these hexes. Flat and stable and not worried about your model tipping over, which, I'm telling you guys, wobbly model syndrome is my enemy. I can't tell you the number of times I've wanted to do something really cool and been thwarted by terrain that was uncooperative. So, you know, I'm trying to save you guys that experience. I'm glad you like it, Leafback. It came together real nice. Yeah, Daylate, we're not naming our dongs in this stream. We're not going to do that. We can name Willem's dong. I mean, it's just King Dong. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. This is, it stumped me for a long time. The actual design work didn't take long. It was the staring at the problem and trying to come up with solutions that took just about forever. Well, it took a little bit over a month, I guess, if I'm being fair. And then the actual work was like a couple hours. So I'm going to move these guys off camera. And if anybody has any questions about the highway system, if anybody questions, it is low-hanging. It is low-hanging indeed. That is apparently the story. Sci-fi, billboards, and advertising are for the Trinity City models. Have you guys seen what that dude from Germany, Jan Hewlett, did with the Trinity City buildings? Because they're fucking amazing. They look so good. Like, I'm almost embarrassed. I created the models, and I painted them, and I was like, yeah, they look okay. They look like some city buildings. And this dude has them looking like photorealistic sci-fi buildings with Coca-Cola billboards on them and shit. It just blows my mind. I'm like, embarrassed to be the creator of the model at this point. Not too embarrassed, obviously. Not really embarrassed at all. That's a big load of shit. But he did a really good job. Alright. Neo Tokyo. Yeah. Yeah, that could be cool. There's something like an LED billboard, or like, what are those, like etched acrylic with a light on the edge, like fiber optic? That could be cool. Ooh, you guys. Who's got a... Is Greg in here? Is Greg the salt... I haven't seen Greg the salt miner yet. I need somebody with a laser to laser etch me some acrylic billboards that I can wire up with fiber optics. Who's going to get on that? Who's going to send me some laser etched acrylic? Mm-hmm. Damn, you know, you're right, you could do that day late. If you were doing it on a building, and you thought ahead of time you could make the building large enough to contain a Raspberry Pi, and this is a dangerous line of thought. Day late, thank you for stopping in. Guys, if you enjoy gaming streams at all, if you enjoy variety streamers, if you enjoy streamers who have like real personality, I'm not talking about people who are really good at a game and you like to watch them sit there and stare at the screen. You like somebody who's really engaging and gives a shit about his audience and plays an unreasonable amount of Assassin's Creed and will indulge his audience in extended sequences where they talk about Willem Dafoe's massive lap hog. That's oddly specific. But check out Daylight Gamer. Honestly, if you are in the market for a variety streamer at all, his production values are through the roof. He's a really nice guy. He's really engaged with chat. I watch him just about every time before I come on the stream myself, just to kind of get myself psyched up. Toss him a follow. Check him out next time he's on. I think you guys will have fun. He does not do painting or 3D printing or anything of that sort, and we can't all be that cool, you know? There can only be so many of us. But, yeah, his stream is fantastic. I draw a lot of inspiration from it. Yeah, toss a coin to your streamer. Oh, Twitch of plenty. I got a big nasty burn mark on this one too. See right there? I had a power failure like at 80% and it just burned right into that. It sucks. Oh well, I'm going to have to do another print of it anyway. I'll be making a few tweaks to these files for this ramp tonight and probably tomorrow in the morning. And once that's done and I'm confident the files are good, the hex-based highway system will be releasing on Steel Warrior Studios. Mad Rush Outwars, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you have fun. Brain words, talking good. What was I saying? Yes, I expect to see these released in the next few days. The next thing that I'm going to be releasing, everybody wants the hexless roads and they want the hexless highways. That's not a huge project, so I'm just going to dig into it. And hopefully within a week, hexless version of this will be available for those of you who like to play Alpha Strike JT. There you go. There you go. There's your answer. Mad Brush, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in. You play Battletech, man? We all play Battletech here. All of us. In fact, playing Battletech is a requirement. If you're in this chat and you don't play Battletech, you can stick around and also watch because we're welcoming to everyone. Absolutely everyone. Alright, I'm gonna actually set this aside now instead of just fooling with it and babbling about my own designs. What? Recommended you something you actually want to see. What is it? Because it's not... Yeah. No, but really, thanks for coming in, man. I am going to get started on some battle mech painting here momentarily. Yeah, hooray! Hooray for the algorithms. Well, you weren't, Matt, but now that I see you, I am absolutely going to kick you out. Like 100%. You called out my Costco fucking fleece pullover, man. I can't have people knowing where I get my normal human costumes. That's unacceptable. Pulling out my wet palette here, which has that delightful aroma of week old wet palette. Actually, it doesn't smell like anything because it doesn't have any mildew in it, which is a good sign. If you open up your wet palette and it stinks of mildew, clean it, for the love of God. McBee, you know what? Why are you asking that question? MCB, why are you asking what's good? You know what's good. Burgers. That's what's good. Damn it, now I'm hungry. Why? This happens. Every time MCB comes into the damn chat, I start thinking about burgers. And then I get hungry. Zintar with the Twitch sub. Thank you so much. Subbing just because I'm sitting around basically picking my nose on stream. Imagine what's going to happen when I paint something. That's crazy. What are you doing today, MCB? MCB, by the way, another very talented, very honest, very personal, not at all fake. I realize that as soon as I said that, I feel like it sounded sarcastic. He's not at all fake, you guys, I swear to God. No, really nice guy. He'll do a lot of just chatting streams. Honestly, MCB and Daylight Gamer are like my two go-to personality-based variety streamers. If you're interested at all, please toss him a follow. He's been very, very supportive of my efforts here, and I've taken a lot of tips for getting my stream going from him. Also, if there's anything on this stream that you don't like, it is absolutely MCB's fault. He told me to do it. He said it was a good idea. I said, MCB, it seems like I'm really going to alienate my viewers. And he said, shut the fuck up and do it. And then he hit me. So you know where the problems really come from. I'm going to be working today more on my awesome AWS 8Q fire hose, and I'm going to be cracking open... Well, if I can find it, I'm going to be cracking open a new brush. Where the hell did it go? Grab you a double Whopper, brother. You know what? After this, I'm gonna do exactly that. I'm gonna go get a burger. Not immediately, mind you. There's my 0. You get like the full gamut of the Winsor & Newton brush use here. We've got the oldest one that I have, which is just worn down, beat to shit, frayed paint all the way up in the ferrule. Like, holy crap, this brush has been through a lot. It was the first one I bought. We've got my other most used currently one, which is on its way out, which is starting to get faded from my greasy ass hands. That's nice. We've got this 0 that's well on its way, and this nice shiny new one. God, I love a new brush, you guys. I love how shiny they are. I love how much the tip snaps right back into place every time. Are you a size 0? Yeah, you are. MCB, you don't have to thank me, dude. You've done so much for me. And I love hanging out in your stream, man. Thank you. Thank you for being you. And for playing Need for Speed late at night when I'm intoxicated out of my mind and I need to watch something stupid. Stay Wet Handy Palette, it's called. Just looked it up. So the Stay Wet, okay. Stay Wet brand, that's a perfectly fine palette. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have not used a wet palette before and you get Stay Wet, it is perfectly functional and you will like it. You don't need to spend that much money on it. If you don't want to. Now, I'm not saying that... I'm not one of those who tends to get off on the whole, if you spend money on this thing, you're an idiot. The fact is, if you're spending money on a product that you can make yourself, that money is buying you the time, effort, and mental energy that you would have spent putting that together yourself. In this case, you can make a wet palette out of some parchment paper, some paper towels, and a resealable plastic container, and that's what I've done, and this one serves me perfectly fine. I have to use a wet palette. I didn't used to. I have to use a wet palette now because I live in Colorado, and my paint will literally dry by the time I get it to my figure, if I'm not being careful. I'm going to reconfigure my camera once more for painting instead of showing off 3D printed items. Pardon me just a moment. Nope, it's a bit overcorrected, I think. There we go. How long do your brushes last before they are in meh status? I mean, it depends entirely on use. I find that I start using one brush and I love it and I just use it and use it and use it. And with constant use, one of these brushes will get worn out. Now, you gotta take care of them, otherwise they'll get worn out real fast. But taking care of them, I mean, these brushes have lasted me a year or more each. And I think you could probably do better than that if you were really trying to. PVC tubing for paint holders. Yes. Yes, they are. Masters brush soap is good. Also, Pink Soap. Pink Soap is the actual brand of the soap. And it works remarkably well. And yes, those are PVC tubes that I've used for paint bottle holders. Now, let me get at a good focus level to actually start painting things. Did you guys know that I paint things on this stream sometimes? I know, it's not always me just rambling and trying to sell you things. Just most of the time. I've got my eye on a new camera. One that I don't have to worry about the focus so much on. I hear that Logitech Brio is fairly high quality. I'll put another black wash on these black panels because I wanted to go ahead and try to push the highlights just a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to do today, is I'm going to come over and I'm going to hit the various highlights for some real bright ones and see if I can't kind of push the effect. Maybe put in some scratches and stuff like that. Nothing major. Just a little visual interest. The pink cockpit is happening. Like, I already started it. So, I'm going to be painting it. And yeah, you're right. If you use soap, if you use brush soap like Masters brush soap, if you use Pink Soap, which is another brand of the same stuff, these brushes can last you for years. The one that I have that's really shitty looking, that's like, nah, I probably only use this for garbage projects now, that brush is like 3 years old. And I never stopped using it. So, you know, take from that what you will. Well, I can't seem to get my paint consistency right today. You have the red grass wet palette, huh? You wish you had my stable hands, you say, as I'm here like... If you think my hands are stable, I'll take the compliment. I'm not even going to argue with you. I had been tempted to, but I won't do it. I'll just accept it and move on. I might be kind of gilding the lily here and overthinking it, but I just want to hit a few spots before I move on to doing some more advanced effects. Nope, that's too much. That's too much paint. Don't do that. That looks very much like paint. Why can't you lay down a thin line to save your soul today? Well, it's because I'm just getting started. It's because I'm just getting started. That's why. If I weren't trying, I'd be like just laying down perfectly smooth base coats. Laser precise edge highlights. Yeah, that sounds like me. Laser precision. That's what I'm famous for. Not slapshot work at all. How do I pronounce that? Eclipse. It's just sort of a throat sound, I think, is your name. Oh, Eclipse. You know, I see it now that you say that. I should have just kept my damn mouth shut for like a minute and figured it out. Instead, I've revealed myself to be a moron. Thanks for the follow, Eclipse. Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in. I'm just getting started working on this here awesome battle mech. The joke that the terrible pun that you end up making whether you want to or not, because that's just the name of the mech. Kind of helped delineate the yellow a little bit more clearly, I think. Yeah, I can see how that would probably be a pretty common name. So now you have the one that makes streamers like me look like fucking idiots as we stare at it trying to figure out what that very common word is. It's even more fun than having the name you wanted, I figure. Guy, oh, I'm glad you made it, man. You know, I've been having that... And guys, please feel free to give me feedback on the timing of my streams, because I'm still very new to this, and I chose my initial times based on what I had available, because I had no viewers whatsoever, and I've got a number of people who have trouble making it to my streams. I mean, they're interested in making it to my streams, which, by the way, is a huge compliment to me. I thoroughly appreciate it. But a number of people who haven't been able to make it by the time I'm winding down. I pushed some of my streams a little bit later to fit people's work schedules a bit more. But, you know, if my stream is inconveniently timed for you, I'm not saying that if you say, hey, Thunderhead, why don't you fucking stream at this precise time that I want you to and not when you want to? I'm not saying I will. But if you're a regular viewer and you're having trouble making my streams, please let me know, because I can use that information for future scheduling. My schedule is pretty open as long as I have a couple of days ahead of time to plan. I can have almost any time available. Just not at a moment's notice, usually. There's another classic battle game. I'm wording so good today. I just can't fucking talk to save my soul. Like I developed dyslexia overnight or something. There's another classic BattleTech game going on locally this Sunday that I think given the choice between going or streaming, I think I'd rather stream. I talked to the organizers, and hopefully we'll be able to get future games set for Saturdays, but something somebody brought up, this may interest those of you who are BattleTech players and also in this stream right now, which I would imagine is a significant portion of you. I can't imagine that I attract that many people who aren't, like, specifically into BattleTech. I'm thinking about maybe streaming some games, some actual classic BattleTech gameplay. I'm awesome. No, you're not. Dude, don't lie. It's not a lie. It's... My own inability to judge my talents. It's not technically a lie. Yeah, Verg, you're always here. I know it works for you, and I appreciate you showing up each and every damn time, man. Garonis, thanks for the follow, man. Hope you like what you see, and if you don't, tell me. Be like, this fucking guy, I followed your stream, and you're nothing but a bunch of dick jokes and robots, and you won't be wrong. I am pretty much just a bunch of dick jokes and robots, sometimes robot dick jokes. That's something I'm going to have. I got a couple things in work specifically for the stream that I've been working on improving. One of them has very much to do with a robot's penis, and that's all I'm going to say on the subject, but, you know, you stick around, you'll find out more. Another one has to do with Chaotic Harmony, who people might argue is himself a robot dick. But hopefully we'll have his dulcet tones available on a soundboard here before long, because he's recorded some really stupid announcer stuff for me that I absolutely love. But I don't have it ready to use yet. This weekend I just didn't have much time to work on the stream. What with... oh god, that's terrible. What with being at the convention and all. Which, by the way, the convention was a lot of fun, you guys, if you weren't here for me talking about it before. Achilles! Achilles! I could, you know, squash them both like bugs. Goddamn, I love that movie, you guys. If you are in this chat right now, and you have not seen the movie Robot Jocks, go to YouTube and pull that shit up and watch it. Yeah, Mad Rush Outwars. I do not play MWO. And in fact, I'll use this as an opportunity to plug Chaotic Harmony and how much fun he is to watch play. I don't play MWO. I don't even like MWO, if I'm being honest. I've tried playing it a few times. It's not for me. I do not mesh well with that game. It drives me a little crazy. I don't even like watching it. I like watching Chaotic Harmony play it, though. He is so entertaining. He makes it into a fun experience. Oh my god, Zentar, you have it on VHS, so you've had it for a long freaking time. That's amazing. You're one of my favorite people. Somebody get that man a curdled beer. Been playing BattleTech since it was Battle Droids, so since the beginning. Also stream mostly 40k, but you do have a printer and want to get your hands on files for the new BattleTech models from MWO. Garonis, I don't know how much time you spend on Thingiverse, but there are many, many MWO-derived and other sources of models from MWO that you can download for free off Thingiverse and print out. And that was my source for a lot of mechs when I first got started printing. I was just saying ago, and I want to finish my thought, that I'd like to stream some actual BattleTech play. Like bring a camera, set up at a con or in somebody's garage, overhead, and just stream playing an actual game of BattleTech. That's something I'd very much like to do if people were interested in seeing it. Now, I can't say that I'll do it soon. I need to do some equipment setup for something like that, I think, obviously. But if you guys are interested, I mean, let me know. Drop me a line here or on Discord. Post it in chat. Post it on Facebook. Tweet it at me. Do whatever you gotta do. Just let me know that you would be interested in that content, and I will see what I can do to bring it to you, because I think that sounds like a whole lot of fun. Oh, that was terrible. That's where the highlight goes, right? Is deep in the recessed panel line. Sure. Why the hell not? I've already done a few layers on this kind of gray-black. I'm just going over it with a kind of a cold Vallejo Wolf Gray for some real bright highlights. I may do another wash over top afterwards. I'm undecided. It could be interesting. I acknowledge, yeah, it would probably be a pain in the ass to stream that way. But I think it could be worth trying. I need to investigate what sort of camera setup I'd need to have do that in a mobile sense. A mobile sense. That's a good sentence. Sure, why the hell not? But yeah, I'd love to bring you guys some actual gameplay. And if that goes well, I have a game room. I have an independent game room on my property with an 8x4 permanent table set up in it with a whole lot of game storage. It is absolutely fantastic, and it is kind of begging for a streaming setup if there's interest for it. And if I get that set up, then I could stream games really quite regularly. And with ease, too. I could just crack the camera on. I could have it hardwired over to my tower. As I say it out loud, I realize that I want to do it. But again, I need to do some more investigation into the details on that one. Ah, come on. Why you gotta do that to me? Why you gotta play me like that, awesome? And yes, the color scheme for this awesome is also very much based on the bad guy robot from Robot Jox that I was just talking about. He does not have a chainsaw dick like the bad guy robot from Robot Jox, but, you know, what are you gonna do? I can't add chainsaw wangs to every robot that I own. I've already done that to a couple of them. And I don't know, people don't seem to think it's as funny as I do. Maybe I have the emotional maturity of like a third grader, but people have reacted very poorly to the chainsaw dick on my Imperial Knight in the past. Which I found disappointing. I thought that we could all, as robot fans, get together and giggle over super immature dick jokes, but I guess some robot fans demand that they be taken seriously, and I don't understand that. If I ever start seeming like I'm taking myself seriously, I want you to slap me, metaphorically. Physically, if you're in the room, would be fine, but most of you probably won't be, so make it like a moral slapping. With some commentators, yeah, I could see that working. That would be pretty cool. Top-down, high-angle, dice cam mounted on a tower. That's a good idea. A dice cam, like over the dice tray. That would be pretty cool. The other thing we could do, Vergaderung, is stream some Tabletop Simulator. A lot of people do that. That would be super duper easy to set up, and maybe that would be a good sort of way to test the waters. I don't know. We'll have to play around with it. Double-blind game with moderators and commentators. Man, you guys are just full of ideas. I could see that working. It's just an idea at this point, you know. But we'll see how it develops. It could become something that I do. I don't know how long I'm gonna go for today. I don't really have a plan besides working on figures, so I guess we'll just go until I can't stand the sound of my own voice anymore. So that'll be the end of the stream for today, guys. And no, I'm joking. I got you painting again. That's fucking fantastic. MCB, dude, you lurk to your heart's content. Do you know how amazing it feels to know that you're lurking in my chat? When I see your name pop up, my heart soars with the eagle's nest. I feel like I'm truly part of the Burger fam. Man, JT and Verg, I gotta say, I love the response that I've gotten to this channel so far. I love the response that Trinity City has had through Steel Warrior Studios and everything so far. I love all of it. But what I love the absolute most, the thing that I love the most, is when I hear that something I'm doing has inspired someone to pick up a brush again that they maybe haven't picked up for a while, or to work on a figure that, oh, that printer just finished. Hang on, let me push this back so you can see. That little piece just finished 3D printing. The plate is now cooling. When the plate has cooled, there will be a cracking sound, which will be the molten plastic on the bottom separating from the heated glass plate. And then I'll be able to remove the supports and fit that into the highway. Surprised there aren't more models, files for markers and counters. You know, I made a couple, but I never put them up on Thingiverse. Sentient. I made some PSR pilot skill roll tokens with values on them so that as you accrued pilot skill checks, you could just drop them next to your mech and then go down one at a time and roll them. but I never put them up. I guess I could, if you'd like some. They're real easy to run off on an FDM printer. That's the thing, is making tokens and counters is easy. What do you need counters for, though? There aren't that many things you need counters for. I mean, obviously some things, but most of the information I need in Battletech is usually taken care of by a simple 6-sided die. But if you need something in particular, always feel free to request something, man, because it's not hard to throw something like that together pretty quick. Shut down, destroyed, terrain on fire, stuff like that. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Prone, I tend to just lay the model down, but I can totally understand not wanting to do that, and it can definitely be a bit of a pain when you're playing on a tight quarters like on a 1.25-inch hex map. I guess most people figure that stuff is easy enough to throw together, even for a beginner, that they don't even bother making it, but maybe I'll throw together a set of counters. Sentient Pickle, if you can come up with a list of counters that you want, I'll take a look at it, man. They really don't take much to throw together, and I could release them along with the other counters that I've already done. A little bit here. A little bit here. Stop immobile. I could see that. I usually use just a different colored die for immobile or stationary, but I mean, there's certainly a lot of status effects in Battletech that you could have a counter for. I've been leaning away from counters lately just because I've got like PTSD from playing FFG games. FFG, where they're like, oh, is there a new ability that we're putting on a unit? We'll come up with like 4 new counters to represent that. Just as many counters as we can have. We'll have counters that represent other counters. I'm convinced that FFG is a game company that's run by a token printing machine that achieved sentience at some point. I'm not sure exactly when it happened, but the humans now work for the token printer. Waiting for a wash to dry. That's my favorite thing. It's as much fun as watching paint dry. Double blind counters direct present blip. It's funny that you should mention that, Sentient Pickle. Have you seen these? Because I like these. I like these a lot. Right? It's like a generic mech radar contact. Or blip. Yeah, Vergatorung is talking about him right there. Check him out, man. I wish I could take credit for that file. In fact, I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, I totally made that. No, that's a lie. I didn't make that. I can't remember who posted them initially. There are a few remixes of them. They're just ripped right from the HBS turn-based Battletech game, and they work fan-freaking-tastically for playing double blind. Which, I enjoy double blind. I do. It's a bit more complicated, certainly. But if you're playing with a player who isn't a dick who's gonna cheat, which, let's be honest, you should already be doing that, if you can help it, they can give scout mechs more of a role than just artillery spotters. Which I appreciate. I'm doing it again. I'm putting paint just all over my hand without... I don't feel like putting... I'm not putting on a glove. I don't feel like putting on a glove. Yes, that's true. Listen to Vergatorung on this subject. The head is not attached to the one that's ripped straight from the game, and somebody did a repaired version. Print that one. I don't have a link to it immediately available, but it does exist. And I do strongly recommend it. Alright, come on. Let's do this here. Nope. Nope, that's terrible. I'll have to go in and fix that. Good job. I'm just all over the place with the brush today. Oh well. I'll probably live. Paint session ended. Frustration and irritation levels maxed out. What were you painting? I mean, I'm glad you got a painting session done. I know that they can indeed be frustrating and at times even feel like a job. Hell, that's part of the reason I do these streams, is to motivate myself to sit down and get some painting done when otherwise I might not. When otherwise I might be like, you know, I could just play Graveyard Keeper for like another 12 hours. That doesn't hurt anything, right? I did pick up Graveyard Keeper the other day and start playing it, and holy shit, that game, you guys. I know everybody's all about Stardew Valley, and I get it. I enjoy Stardew Valley. It's amazing how much just putting a slightly macabre face on a game makes it interesting to me. But as soon as you have Stardew Valley and you're like, yeah, but you're, you know, pulling the fat and blood out of corpses and feeding human meat to the townspeople, I'm like, oh yeah, fucking let's play. Let's do it. Between the Mars/Photon and the Ender 3/i3 Mark III. Well, Sentient. That is going to depend almost entirely on what it is that you want to do the most of. If you want to do both models and terrain, I highly recommend starting with an FDM printer. They're more difficult to use, but they're also more versatile. Using them will teach you a whole lot about 3D printing in general, and you will get more done with an FDM printer. The resin printer is much more niche, but it's also useful if you paint and print, or paint and play models. It'll save you a shitload of money. It saved me a shitload of money. I genuinely wish that I had kept a tally of all the money I might have spent that my printer has stopped me from spending, because at this point I'm sure that number is just obscene. Obscene. Somehow. I'm not sure how a number is obscene. But, you know, I said it, so I stick with it. I definitely meant it. Alright, I think I'm going to call that good on the black. That's pretty decent. It's a little rough in some spots, but I'm not going to let myself get hung up on that. I strongly recommend it. I cannot recommend an FDM 3D printer enough. Speaking of which, let me check on this print, see if I can't pull it off. Yep, came right off. Alright. Trying to do road stripe and the orange isn't covering it all. JT, what you should do, any place that you want to put a color like orange, paint first a thick, strong white. Paint it white first, and then put your color over top of it. You will have a much easier time. So, for those of you who are curious, I figured I might as well, since I've got this here and I'm going to be assembling it, just go ahead and show you. This is one of the printed pieces for the highway. It's one of the separate arches. This prints with supports. I haven't tried this without supports. You could probably print this without supports. I just did this because I was slicing all of them with supports at the time, but you could probably ignore this little chunk of plastic right here in your slicer and it would still print up just fine. I have mine on a raft just because I have adhesion issues and I really don't like worrying about it, so this spends a little bit of extra plastic to create this, what they call a raft, which is just a real loosey-goosey layer of plastic that goes down before the print does, and then the print sticks to it really, really well, but not so well that you can't remove it because it just peels right away. And the support should also break off without too much effort. Yep. Just like that. And yeah, you end up with some waste plastic, but it's almost entirely hollow. This is a few cents worth of waste plastic. OTR Wolf Dog. Need a Mars cam on the right middle. You know, I've considered putting a camera on the Elegoo Mars 3D printer, but it's not interesting to watch. it really just is not an entertaining printer to watch. The Ender 3, I will waste a whole lot of time. The Ender 3, by the way, is getting fired up for another print. You'll get to see it start. It's a plate going down into a vat of resin, and then it comes up, and then it goes down, and then it comes up, and then it goes down, and then it comes, and I mean, you get the picture. And yeah, you can't see what it's printing at all for hours, and even when you can see it, it's because you lean your head down at this real funny angle, and you stare in at it, and it looks like this vague mass of goo. It's really not. It seems like it's printing boogers right up until you wash it with some IPA. And test... Yeah, these fit really nice. I need to adjust the fit on some other parts, but these pillars slot down in real easy and real nice. And what I would do with this, by the way, and what I'm going to do, is I'm going to print this piece like this before I attach these pieces in any sort of permanent sense. What you building? Hey, what's up, Ghost Bear? How you doing, man? I saw you pop in at the end of the last stream. Sorry you missed the majority of the fun. This is a highway system that I have been building for Battletech, for hex-based 6mm sci-fi play. And right now I'm painting a mech, but I just finished printing the main body of this, and I'm working on printing the other parts of it right now. But it prints out in 3 main pieces, like so, which slot together like so. And then this connects to these raised supports and connects up with other pieces of highway. What's a Battletech? Woo-wee! Well, welcome to the can of worms that is Battletech. Battletech is a tabletop wargame that was created in the early 80s by a bunch of nerds who thought that Japanese mecha anime at the time were super duper cool, and they wanted to play big robots punching and shooting each other. And it hasn't really changed much since then. It's a 35 years of strong opinions. Yes, that's another accurate description of Battletech. Battletech is 35 years of gamers hating one another and insisting that they're wrong for enjoying things. It's a relatively dense and granular but very fun 6mm sci-fi game. This miniature that I'm painting here is from the newest box set that Catalyst Game Labs released for Battletech, a game of armored combat. It's a fairly cheap game to get into. It's a lot of fun if you're into big robots punching and shooting each other at all. I mean, check it out. You probably have somebody locally who plays. It's been around forever, and it's just kind of going through a renaissance in the last couple of years. Where was I? That is right. I wanted to start applying some highlights to the undercarriage. Yeah, JT's not entirely wrong. It's the lore of it is kind of Game of Thrones and spacey. I also describe it as Dune in space, but with big robots. Because politically it has a lot in common with Frank Herbert's Dune series, in my humble opinion. At least in the historical sense of the series. I'm mixing some coal black with some wolf gray to make an easy highlight. Just a moment. At its core, it's a hex and counter tabletop wargame. Yes, That is accurate. You just got into Gundam? Well, welcome to the fantastic and wonderful world of big Japanese robots. Battletech definitely has its pedigree in big Japanese robots as well. In fact, many of the original designs for Battletech mechs were at the time purchased from Japanese companies and then reused for the game, which, interestingly enough, is the subject of a great and long legal battle that only concluded somewhat recently, and the reason that some mechs in Battletech can't actually be used by the people who now own the game system. But you don't really need to worry about that. Just know if you ever hear the phrase unseen, that's what they're talking about. Yeah, believe me, I know there are a few streams that I've popped into where I'm like, oh, this guy looks like he's painting something. Maybe he's doing something kind of cool. And he's painting like, oh, I'm just real quick freehanding the Sistine Chapel on my Space Marine shield. You know, no big deal. Let me just go ahead and paint a face on a flat surface there and modify his expression. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. I mean, I love you and you're wonderful and you inspire me and here's a subscription, but also, fuck you. By the way, if you're a streamer who recently painted something really cool on the shield of a Space Marine, know that I am not talking about you, and I appreciate everything that you do, etc., etc. Disclaimer here. Yes, KYC is absolutely correct. The new designs that they have started to do to make up for the unseen mechs are fantastic. What are they calling them? Reseen? I can't remember now. I think reseen was the phrase they're going with, but that applied to some mechs a while ago too, so I'm not sure. I'm just hitting the inside of this knee joint here. Pull out a little bit of detail. Now the back, yeah. Awesome back of the knee is a little funky, but you can put some kind of wear lines. New scene or scrog scene, yeah. Scrog scene. Okaral, thank you very much for the follow. Good to have you out on this very fine Tuesday. I know we got a couple people in chat who are painting things today. What are you all working on? You painting any mechs? You painting any miniatures? You painting the canvas? I want to know. I want to know. Guys, I love art. I love creativity. I do. I have a very creative mind. I feel like I don't always have the skill that I need to take that creativity and translate it into the real world, you know? Miniature painting is one of the only areas where I've got enough experience that I feel fairly confident doing it, but, you know, I'm trying to branch out more these days, so any art, any and all art is welcome. There's a real simple thing I'm doing here, in case you're wondering. The back of this knee is not very detailed, but because I figure this is a joint that's sliding kind of this way, back and forth a whole lot, you know, in like a round, there's an engineering term for that, I'm sure I'm just messing that up. Just put some wear marks on it so you get kind of a feeling of motion back there, and it's a little bit more than just black. Yeah, how's that hammerhead going? Okaral, I feel your pain, dude. Note how much paint is on my hand versus how much is on the miniature that I'm supposed to be working on. Where was I? That's right, I'm doing these events here. Go ahead and just do that. Yeah. And a little bit here on the elbow, just to give it a little bit more visual interest. Not that it needs to have it, but, you know. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing, I always say. Oh. Not like that. Don't overdo it like that. That's crazy. Hammer Hands is done. 6 optional parts you never painted in the first pass months ago. Ooh. You know what, Okaral, I'll take that under advisement. I'll take that in the spirit in which it is given. Everything's relative, you guys. And it's one of the things that can be frustrating about painting miniatures, just in general. Everything is relative, and the first time you're like, oh my god, I can achieve a really cool effect by shading this slightly differently, or oh my god, I can achieve depth by doing this really cool thing. Every time you figure out how to do something that you like, and then you go out on the internet, you can find somebody who just makes everything that you did look like the easiest thing in the world. No matter how proud you are of it, you can find someone who is significantly better. There is always a bigger fish. Always a bigger fish. Now, the real message there is don't compare yourself to people online. Just don't. Don't do it. That's the pathway to ruin. That's the pathway to not painting models, is what it is. Every single one of those guys, every Andy Wappel, James Wappel? James Wappel. Every Andy, what's Andy? There's Andy somebody who's really good. But every one of these guys, they got started painting somewhere. They painted a mini the first time. And are there people out there who pick up minis and start painting and just instinctively understand it? Yes. There absolutely are. But they were always going to be good at art. Some people are just talented, you know? It's not worth worrying about them. It's certainly not worth comparing yourself to them. The vast majority of people who are good at this got good by doing it over and over and over and over again. Some got good by taking classes. Some got good by teaching themselves. Some got good by... I apologize, by the way, you're probably going to hear a high-pitched whine for the next couple of minutes. That's the first layer of the Ender 3 print going down. I'm still not entirely clear why it does it on just the one layer. It's really, really annoying, but it'll end before long. What was I just saying? I think I was talking about... I think I was patting my ego and telling myself that it's okay to be at the skill level that I'm at. It sounds right, doesn't it? But all I'm really trying to say, you guys, is have fun. Have fun! Have a damn good time painting your minis, because if you're not, there's no point in doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah, Cybran, I feel your pain, dude. Every time I'm like, oh, I should make such and such, then I look at the list. I'm like, oh god, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? The list. It grows ever longer. It never shrinks. More the type that looks for things you can rip and apply to your own stuff. Okaral, that is absolutely, absolutely the right attitude. And OTR Wolfdog, you're also right on the money. Take inspiration. Don't look at it as ripping off. Don't look at it as comparison. It's just being inspired by it. And you know, every artist in history has been inspired by other artists. And for that matter, also, what you're doing when you're painting miniatures, and this might be me powdering my own ass a little bit here, this is art, man. This is a creative endeavor that requires passion and interest and creativity. This is absolutely 100% art. And, I mean, if you have any doubts, look up some of the really talented miniature painters and the things that they create. They will absolutely blow your mind. And not just the painters. Look at some of the sculptors. My god. We live in a golden age of models right now, and some of the sculpts that are coming out are just mind-blowing. There's some games where the miniatures are more the point than the game itself. Kingdom Death, I think, is a good example of that. I mean, like or dislike the style of the miniatures. And, oh my god, somebody had enough points. Somebody had enough points for something. A random rant. You know, I think I might have something. I think I might be able to do you just fine, JT, for that 2,500 points that you just redeemed. Which you earned by being on my stream. Admittedly, when I set that up, I was thinking to myself, well, nobody's been on my stream long enough to have enough points to make me do anything, so I'm pretty safe for a little while. I forgot. I forgot that you have been here almost every time. Oh, rants. Let me just rant for a second, if I may. Should I rant about Twitch on Twitch? Is that a thing that I should do? Nobody's gonna notice, right? If I rant a little bit about other streamers, I'm not gonna rant about anybody by name. I feel like I had a good one though, and now I can't think of what it was. I could rant about rants. Oh, but really I need to have a list next to me for that one. Let me rant at you for a moment about Robert Pattinson. Can I rant at you about Robert Pattinson, the actor? You know Robert Pattinson, right? You remember him. Everybody remembers him. Everybody remembers Twilight. Even if you didn't see Twilight, you remember Twilight. You remember the sparkly fucking vampires. You remember all the tween girls losing their damn minds. Harry Potter. Yep, that's another good point. He was also in Harry Potter. I think it's the first place a lot of people saw him. And a lot of people I've noticed these days, and you know, who can blame him? You say, hey man, there's this great new movie with Robert Pattinson. Hey, have you seen this thing with Robert Pattinson? And you still get, oh, the sparkling vampires from Twilight. Oh, vampires. And don't get me wrong, guys, I fucking hate Twilight. It was just terrible. I've even looked into it. I read the first book because I am a bit of a masochist and I like to research the things that I'm going to complain about loudly because I want to be able to complain about things from a position of authority and experience. And if there's one way to make it clear that you don't care about a thing, it's by learning as much about that thing as you possibly can, right? That makes perfect sense, obviously. Nobody question that. Nobody tell me that I'm wrong. So I read it, and those books are fucking terrible, you guys. Like, I'm just talking about as literature. They're awful. So, you know, I get it. I get it why people look at that and go, they're Pattinson. Pattinson is a fucking great actor. Oh my god, you guys. This is the subject of my rant. And I turned it from a bit of a negative into a positive. But let me just say, if you are not watching the latest spate of films from the last few years, from about 2015 on, that Robert Pattinson has been in, done by like A24 Productions, get off your ass and go watch one. Get onto Netflix tonight when somebody's like, I don't know what to watch. Why don't we rewatch The Office for the 30th time? I'm not saying that's a bad idea. I love The Office. I love rewatching it. The King, also a good example. But I'm going to recommend a different film to you, JT. I'm going to say check out The Rover. The Rover is on Netflix right now. It is done by A24 Productions. It stars Guy Pearce and Robert Pattinson in a not post-apocalyptic, but post-international economic collapse Australia. So, you know, Australia. I'm joking, Australia's fine. And it's essentially, the way I look at it, as if you were a fan of Mad Max, I'm talking the original film, the one where his family gets run down by a bunch of psychopaths, and it's actually really quite depressing. If you're a fan of that movie specifically, and not necessarily, I'm not saying not a fan of the films that followed it, but more of a fan of the original and the bleak atmosphere that it had, The Rover is the continuation of that. If Fury Road is the logical continuation of the cool cars vein from Mad Max, then The Rover is the continuation of the, oh god, everything's depressing, life has no meaning, everyone's gonna die part of Mad Max. And I realize that doesn't sound inspiring. I realize that as I say it out loud. But it's only in exploring stories like that that we can find, I think, real rays of hope. I maintain that The Road is one of the most hopeful films of our generation, and I know people would probably argue with me on that, but I love that movie, and I love the ending of it. And The Rover reminds me in a lot of ways about The Road. Of The Road, rather, stylistically and content-wise. I'm not going to tell you that it has a happy ending, but it has a thoughtful ending. And that, to me, is generally better. I don't know if that really qualifies as a rant. JT, do you feel like that was a rant? I don't know if rants are allowed to be positive. Do you want me to complain about something? Because if you feel that you didn't get your points worth, I'll complain about something. I got something in mind. as I was saying that, I thought of something. Said The Road was a really good book, opened it to the first page, and it was nothing but incomplete sentences. I think that's... You know, I haven't read The Road, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm some kind of lord of or authority on the subject. I've only seen The Road, and what I saw of it, I enjoyed thoroughly. But I understand that, of course, literature and film are two very, very different mediums. And anytime you translate something from literature to film, you're going to lose something in translation. I just don't know how it's possible to do it any other way. But the point of that rant was Robert Pattinson has outgrown Twilight. He has outgrown Harry Potter. He is a phenomenal actor. Go watch The Rover. If you like The Rover, go see Good Time. Go watch Cosmopolis. And for the love of God, watch The Lighthouse, you guys. I know that I'm just, at this point, I just sound like, you know, any film authority of the last 6 months going, oh, The Lighthouse was really good. It's really good. It's really good. It's the most accessible art house film I think I've seen in a long time. Highly artistic. Highly up to interpretation, and shockingly enjoyable to watch. Those movies are usually not a lot of fun. Should have used the targeted rant. And now we're back to... Look, I'm not talking about Willem Dafoe's dick. I am a little bit talking about Willem Dafoe, but I'm not necessarily talking about his dick. So, I don't think that counts. Somebody keep a running counter of every time I make reference to Willem Dafoe's massive fucking hog. Actually, no, nobody do that, because that number would probably be embarrassingly high. Worm Dafoe. 4501. It's been a fucking hour, and you have referenced Willem Dafoe's penis 4,000 times. Thunderhead, seek therapy. I'm tempted right now to tell the story about Willem Dafoe's hog, and I'm not gonna do it. I guess it made me feel self-conscious about another man's penis. Which is a weird sentence for me to say out loud. Seriously, though, watch The Lighthouse. Like, I'm not even kidding about that. It's a fucking fantastic movie. Not that I'm generally kidding about my recommendations. I realize that's kind of what that sounds like. And a little bit for your big old fisto there. And a little bit here. Spectral on Netflix. I made those ones really expensive because they're gonna fucking annoy me, Cybran, but I'll go along with them. Spectral was interesting. I liked Spectral. When I was watching Spectral, I think I got the impression that it was a movie, and I'd be willing to bet that this is true to some degree, that it was a movie made by like a prop studio, rather than a traditional production. Because it was really focused on the props, like I don't want to say to the detriment of the plot, because there wasn't that much of a plot. That's not necessarily a negative. It's a very simple, very straightforward, very enjoyable sci-fi action movie. But I got the feeling that the props came before the ideas. Nothing wrong with that. I love props. I fucking love props and toys and robots. But yeah, Spectral was good. I enjoyed Spectral. It had a fun premise that reminded me a little bit of, like, Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within, which is a much maligned film that I don't feel deserves the reputation it got. It should not have been called Final Fantasy anything. On that much, I have to agree with everyone in the world. But the story was kind of cool. At least I enjoyed it. Yeah, Ghostbusters meets Black Hawk Down. I can see that. Cybran Knight. The man who subscribed before he followed. Take from that what you will. I'll take the follow as a more earnest compliment. Like, well, you know, he threw me his Twitch Prime sub because he was, you know, feeling kind of bad for me, but then Then he followed me, and that was when our friendship truly began. Dude, the Great British Baking Show is fucking amazing. Like, I'll sit here and be like, oh, watch this art house film. Ooh, watch Willem Dafoe and his giant penis. The Great British Baking Show is fucking amazing. Ooh, that's a little upsetting. I don't know how comfortable I am being on that many forms or on that many screens at the same time. There we go. Just edge there, edge here. Yeah. I don't need to go much lower than that, but I'm going to do some little streaky streaks just to give this weapon a bit of texture. Let's see how badly I can mess it up. That kind of worked. That kind of worked, I suppose. Wireless headphones, laptop to watch while you paint, and phone for chat. That's actually a pretty good setup. You seem like you've got it all together. I'm all over the place right now. I'm over here. I've got my cameras surrounding me that are plugged into my tower. I've got a monitor that's completely separate from my normal monitor setup aimed at my face, and now I'm using a tablet to keep an eye on chat. You want to know the dumbest thing? The dumbest thing that I think when I'm sitting here streaming? It's a thought that occurs to me, and I'm gonna admit it to you guys. It's really stupid. It's so dumb that now, as I say it, I'm kind of regretting that I said anything. And thinking, you should just keep that to yourself. Because it's really, really stupid. But, you know, I like talking to you guys, and I like being honest. I occasionally think to myself, I'm going to start this stream, and I'm going to be painting, and somebody who's a lot better than me is going to come in and start criticizing my work. That is my mindless, wholly unfounded, ridiculous anxiety that I have. Not that there aren't better painters. That's not that's not what I'm saying. Obviously, there are better painters. But that anyone would give enough of a shit to come in here and be like, dude, you're painting those robots wrong, man. Isn't that silly? This is one of the dumb thoughts that I get to overcome from my brain periodically. No, you can kick them. Actually, Cat. That'd be perfectly fine. I'll contact Twitch, I'll get their IP, we'll find their address, and you can go kick the shit out of them. Yeah, the internet's full of assholes, but I mean, the truth of it, Verg, is that even if that happened, like, that person would just be gone immediately and I'd move on. It's a stupid thing to worry about. God damn it, and then Camo Specs comes in and ruins everything. Cat, kick that. No, don't kick him. Don't kick Camo Specs. Camo Specs is awesome. How dare you, sir? You have made my fear a reality. It might happen, MCB. I think the truth is that I don't know that I'd really care if it did happen. Like, you know, you have an anxiety, you have a fear about a thing happening, and then half the time when it does happen, your response to it is totally different. I don't know, dude. Just, you know, just anxiety things. I have a lot of anxiety in my life. Not that I have these great responsibilities that justify that anxiety, and there is an anxiety layered on top of the other anxiety, is that my anxiety is not good enough. My anxiety isn't real. My anxiety, I don't even deserve to have it because I don't have real problems. I swear to God, this isn't a mental health stream. I'm just babbling right now. Had no qualms about... You're worried about that, but you have no qualms about painting the pink cockpit. I don't know, I guess I overcame that one a while ago. Seething, bubbly ball of anxiety. You know, I found the trick is, though, I think at this point in my life I've realized that anxiety is just something I'm gonna have. You know? Trying to get rid of it, waiting for the day that it leaves me, that's pointless. That's never gonna happen. Or if it does happen, it's not gonna happen because I spend a lot of time thinking about it. It's more about learning to live with it. It's more about learning to recognize when a thought that you're having is just bullshit anxiety, and when it's an actual well-founded fear. Because, you know, it's smart to think ahead. Yeah, that works. But, I don't know. I don't know where the hell it came from. My, Babylon 5. Ooh, good segue. I need to watch Babylon 5 again. That's a fucking great show, you guys. Anyone in here who might have missed Babylon 5 when it was on, I strongly recommend you go check it out. I want to say that it is on Amazon right now? Amazon Prime? At least part of it is. Guys, painting 6mm, I feel like here before long I'm going to switch over to, not on this stream, but in the near future, like in the next week or so, I'm probably going to be painting a 28mm model that I haven't painted 28mm for months now. And I'm just going to be like a god of detail all of a sudden. Trying to get these tiny details on these itty little bitty 6mm parts is just crazy. Just crazy. What makes us so crazy? Who the hell knows? Rewatching The Witcher. Yeah, okay. No joke at all, Kat, and I'm going to answer your question also here in a moment, Okaral. Imposter syndrome is no joke. That is something that I suffer from in a big way. It's like I'm incapable of believing that I'm good at a thing, even when the evidence is right in front of me. It sucks. It makes it hard to enjoy yourself when you've done something good, and that's maybe the biggest crime of the whole damn thing. It's bullshit. I say toss it out. Because you know what, guys? We're all pretty fucking awesome. Every single one of us. Even wanting to engage in an artistic endeavor places you above the average. It puts you in a tier of people who are willing to try, you know? What brush am I using? I am using a Winsor & Newton, a paint smeared Winsor & Newton Series 7 size 0. I highly recommend these brushes. If you look down into my little Amazon blacksmith panel that I've got set up, I believe you can find Winsor & Newton brushes. I strongly recommend, if you're painting miniatures, that you just buy one. Just buy one brush, because that's all you're really going to need for a good long time. They're expensive, like $12 to $15 usually. They're worth it. Honestly, they're worth every single penny. Just get one of them, and if you don't like it, don't buy any more. But you'll know. I'm not really worried, though, because you're going to like it. And in my usual fashion, I realize that I need to highlight the cockpit before I continue with this color. So, let's say we do some pink. And I mean, let's do some pink. Just got the Army Painter brush set. Their brushes are pretty good. Yeah, this part of the problem with the suppressors Cybern Knight is they are so dependent on their base. So dependent on their base. I'm going to be using this pink, and I'm going to be using just a touch of my original magenta. What deeper pink? Is that a euphemism? I hope not. But yeah, I'm going to start off with some of this Warlock purple and a little squid pink, and I'm going to start working on my lensed highlights. And there we go. It's kind of a nice vibrant pink. And I'm going to add a little bit of medium to that because I really don't want it going on too thick. Reviews on Amazon all screaming that the brushes were knockoffs. I have not had that experience. Okay, here's something that's important to check though. When you buy something from Amazon, always check the actual seller. They are not great about the Chinese knockoffs. Sometimes there'll be like a product, and I probably will, Vergaderung, but what I'll do with that is I'll probably paint it up lighter and then go back in with a wash to kind of deepen the cockpit a little bit. When you're buying on Amazon, though, and this is just good advice for you're buying anything on Amazon, Amazon is not at all good about knockoff products. They're real bad about it, and what will happen is a perfectly legitimate product page will be up, and it'll all be well and good, and everybody will have a good time buying it, and positive reviews will go up, and then some goddamn Chinese knockoff manufacturer will get on there, and they'll post their product, and they'll just sign onto the page, and they'll be like, oh, well, this is a variant of the product available in blue. So when you go up and you click on the different types of product, like you select blue or you select your size, you're selecting a knockoff, and you don't know it, and the page doesn't tell you that you're going to a different seller because you selected a different version. So be careful about that on Amazon in general. They will screw you. Now, I've also heard some stories recently about Winsor & Newton brushes coming back in a lower quality. I have not personally received any, so I can't really speak to that, but be aware of it. Definitely be aware of it. And if you get a knockoff, shitty Winsor & Newton brush, I mean, I'll cry for you. That's terrible. So far, I have not had that issue, but I've heard enough about it that I believe it is, in fact, an issue. Why the hell did I paint this cockpit pink? Why do I listen? Why do I listen to you people at all? Yeah, MCB, this absolutely happens. It happens on all kinds of products on Amazon. I've had it happen to me. I thought to myself, oh, it comes in a different color, and when I went back and look, it's like, oh, I'm buying this from Shenzhen, which I don't think is a real place, instead of where I wanted to. I think that might have been racist, I'm not sure. I could just steal some content from Daniel Tosh. We could start playing the game, Is It Racist? That won't get me banned for a TOS violation immediately or anything. So, I'm just explaining my logic with lensing real quick. Some people do more advanced lens effects. I'm doing a real simple lens effect. Generally what I do is I pick a direction that I want the sun to be coming from. In this case, sort of behind and oriented kind of that direction from the model. So to his right and slightly behind him. So then the sun would be coming in from this angle here, which means all of my sunspots, my white dots, will be kind of up towards this direction because that's where the glare of the sun is coming into the cockpit, and the majority of the color is going to be on this side because this is where the light is more filtering through. Because it's awesome! Yeah, that's a good reason. That's a good reason to be doing this. I think the pink is going to look just fine when I'm done. Besides, the guy who drives this mech is a bit of a lunatic, so... You know, what are you going to do? What are you up to, MCB? Are you streaming tonight, man? I should just check your schedule, but since I've got you here... Vaporwave. Gonna be on tonight, trying to get some work done for a client. Well, I'm happy to help you pass the time and get some work done, my man. If you're on tonight, I'll be in there probably just lurking and playing Graveyard Keeper or something, man. That game has got me right now. Just something fierce. I am not being anywhere near as precise. It's like as soon as I go on camera, I get worse. Which, maybe that's just my way of pretending that I'm a better painter than I am. I don't know. You guys decide. It is a bit synthwavy, isn't it? As far as that whole retro, cool 80s look that everybody's doing now with lots of pinks and such. Alright, I'm going to switch to more of a pure pink. Talk to me about that game. And this dinner, Gypsy coming over for a bit. Your girlfriend's really cool, MCB. It's really awesome that she hangs out in your stream. She seems really supportive, but every single time I see her name, you know what I think? Have I got a button for it? I set this up a while ago. I wonder if it's still working. Let me see something real quick. I want to add more sounds and bullshit to my stream just because I have fun with them. Oh no, I have it on my other overlay. Damn it. Alright. Well, on my other overlay that I had set up for gaming, I have a button I can push that shows the elbow rocket from Pacific Rim. That's what I think of every single time. I hear Gypsy and I think Gypsy Danger. That's what kind of nerd I am. I'll get back to that in just a second, Cat. Where to find a double-blind marker has not had much luck so far. Vergaderung, would you mind, because I know you know where they are, would you mind linking him those either in the chat or over in the Discord? Absolutely, Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim, everything. Everything makes me think of Pacific Rim. It's just that in this case, it was slightly more on the nose and less forced. I will force Pacific Rim into any conversation. In fact, next time you ask somebody pays for a rant, that's probably what you're going to get. You're going to get me ranting about how Pacific Rim is one of the greatest movies ever made, and I'll make that argument unironically. You're sitting there thinking, he's being a smartass, No, I'll do it. I will sit here and I will argue for the artistic merit of one of the biggest, loudest, dumbest movies in recent history. Because I love it. Because I love it. I love it so much. Wolf, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Your presence is thoroughly appreciated. I'm glad you were actually able to make it in this time. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch this because this pink is going a little crazy. You haven't seen Pacific Rim, MCB? Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. So you do movie watch parties, right? MCB? Let's watch Pacific Rim. I think that could be a lot of fun. I never get tired of Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim is one of those movies that, like, I can't even have it on. I've got like my movies that I put on in the background while I'm doing laundry or whatever. I can't do it with Pacific Rim. I have the same problem with Pacific Rim that I do with Dread, which is I put it on in the background thinking, oh, I'll just pay a little bit of attention to this while I'm doing other things. No, I can't do it. I stop, I sit down, and I watch the fucking movie from beginning to end, and it's not until the credits roll that I realize how much time I just wasted. Kat, you were asking about Graveyard Keeper, yeah? Graveyard Keeper is excellent. If you played Stardew Valley, you get the idea. Because it's pretty much just Stardew Valley, but with a really macabre theme. If you were ever playing Stardew Valley and you thought, I mean, I'm farming and that's great, but I'd rather if the farming was being done by some zombie that I made out of the corpse of somebody's grandma that they entrusted me with, and I probably should have buried, but I didn't because I'm a necromancer. If you've had that thought, you will enjoy Graveyard Keeper. Dude, MCB, I am so down for that, man. I am so absolutely down. If you organize a watch party for Pacific Rim, I will be there, and I will tell you things about that movie that you don't want to know. I will gush about the special effects and the direction and the acting, and you'll be sitting there thinking, this movie's basically a cartoon. Is this dude fucking high? And, I mean, chances are, yeah, I'm a little bit high, but that's not the point. This cockpit is not coming out quite as smooth as I had hoped. But, you know, we'll get there. I'm not giving up. I should have gone thinner with my pink, but I thought it would lay down thinner than it actually is, so that's okay. I'm probably going to give it a wash. Not Pacific Rim 2, for the love of God, no, not Pacific Rim 2. Oh no. Absolutely not, never that. Oh. Bumping that. Yeah, Eclipse. Thanks for saying that, Eclipse. I like you. You know, when you came in, I was thinking to myself, this guy and or gal, they seem to have their head on straight, and I was right. Because, yeah, Pacific Rim 2 is a disappointment. And I'm a little ashamed to say that about a movie that has Charlie Day in it, because I love Charlie Day. But not even he could save that mess. And maybe the worst thing about Pacific Rim 2 is it's one of those movies where a Chinese production company got involved. And alright, so here's a bit of an admission. I've gone through my whole life... Oh, you got a question, JT? Go ahead, man. Yeah, Charlie's funny in it, but he's not enough to save it. And people are lying to themselves if they don't think that the fact that it was a Chinese production had a big effect on it. Because a Chinese production company bought it, a Chinese production company ignominiously and unceremoniously murdered the only Japanese main character in the movie in the worst way they could possibly think of. They wrote out all the main characters. They wrote in a bunch of new Chinese main characters. They made some Chinese model into, like, the most sympathetic character in the movie, even though you never... Like, it was weird. The whole movie suddenly was about, like, isn't China great, you guys? Why don't we talk about how cool China is? And I guess on one level I feel like, oh, this is what the rest of the world has felt like for the last 100 years. And on the other hand, I'm like, nah, this is stupid. Most favorite / least favorite variety of MRE. Woo, man, I do have opinions on that. Interestingly enough. I'm a big fan of the just noodles and tomato sauce one. The, like, not the risotto, but the, and not necessarily the chili mac or the sketty, but the one that's just the red veggie sauce with the noodles. I think that's one of the best MREs there is. Chili mac's good. The chili mac is regarded highly for a reason, and it's not because it tastes bad. I would say almost any goddamn MRE with chicken in it should be avoided at all costs. I don't know what it is they do to the chicken in MREs, but it comes out tasting like you're chewing on a fucking rubber tire. So just avoid chicken in MREs altogether. Don't even mention the fucking omelet. There is no omelet MRE. Okay? Nobody has ever eaten that. There are a series of MRE packages that were manufactured in like the 1950s, and on it they wrote omelet and vegetarian omelet, and no one has ever eaten one. I don't believe anyone ever has. The people who say they've eaten it and it's bad, I think they're just like lying for internet karma. I don't think there's anything in those MREs. They're like a gag. They just keep getting passed around year after year, updating the dates on them, like candy corn. Nobody eats candy corn. People just buy it, and then they throw it away, and then the companies go to the dumpster, and they dig it out the next year, and they repackage it, and they sell it back to you. I actually really like the vegetarian MREs. I think it's just because it's kind of hard to fuck up vegetable protein. You open it and a puff of self-loathing wafts out into your face. See, White Wolf, now I think you're probably like a bot or like a Russian troll or something. That's what I'm going to go with. Loving candy corn. My God. No, that's fine. You're allowed to like candy corn. Oh yeah, the vegetarian ones have more snacks in them. I think it's because they have to hit a certain number of calories. And the meat-based ones let them fudge those numbers a lot more easily. But the vegetarian ones tend to have at least one extra snack packet in them of something. I I don't know if they have the jalapeno cheese more often than the other ones, but I know that I almost always got jalapeno cheese in the vegetarian ones, and the MRE jalapeno cheese is the shit. MRE jalapeno cheese and MRE peanut butter. That's the business. I will trade you my fucking entree for some of that jalapeno cheese. Depending on the entree, admittedly. But most of them are terrible, so I stand by that. A yearly quota of 5... You know what, Cat? I give you permission to throw that fucking quota right out the door. You don't have to eat candy corn at all. Nobody does, as a matter of fact. Going November 1st and buying 4 pounds for $2. See, now I knew we had to be on the same page for Halloween candy on some level, and I am absolutely on the same page as anyone who recognizes the day after Halloween and the day after Valentine's Day are like National Cheap Candy Day. Which is awesome, because I fucking hate Valentine's Day. I like Halloween, though I can't get into it as much anymore now that I'm an adult living rurally and there's really nothing for me to do unless I drive into town. But, I hate Valentine's Day. That's probably a strong word. I don't really hate it. I don't like it. But damn it do I love the cheap candy. That is my favorite part of the whole holiday. MCB, what the... No! You do not love candy corn. Shino... Okay, answer a question for me. Is it Shinoda Beast or Shino the Beast? Because I've been looking at it, and I thought it was Shinoda Beast, but I'm not as convinced now. So I figured I'd just ask you. Since I got you here and all. Yeah, you will eat the shit out of some candy corn shaped like pumpkins, because they are shit, and what you're eating is shit. Damn it. Oh, I'm a pretty understanding guy, but you're asking me to sit here and just be like, oh yeah, this is fine, while you compliment candy corn. Of all things, a man has to have standards. For the love of God. I love you, MCB, but oh my God. You just keep that candy corn away from my burgers, man. Yeah, the Endercam's actually working, huh? How about that? Look, it's like printing something and everything. It finished printing something earlier, and I was pretty pleased with that. Shino for short, but kind of both. You know, that's what I thought. And that's why I first thought, oh, it's Shinoda Beast, because I was like, yeah, like fucking Linkin Park. Right? That makes perfect sense. Speaking of which, did you watch that show Into the Badlands? Oh yeah, I know you're a beast. I see your posts and I think, that person, that girl there, she could probably punch me right out. Beast. Yeah. Nothing, Verg. Don't think any more about that than you have to. Somebody was in here saying that they like candy corn, and it's over now. And, we can all, you know, move on and forget that it happened. Oh, so I don't know if you will like Into the Badlands, the show. I personally do. It got canceled very recently and didn't quite get to finish its overall story, but it's a very enjoyable show. And what's his name? Shinoda. He does the intro track for it. Yeah, see, Eclipse knows what I'm talking about. The intro track that leads into the show was done by Shinoda, and it's fucking amazing. It's like, the intro is like one of the best parts of the show. That's a lie. The show's amazing. The intro is really good, but the show itself is incredible. Getting to see, what's his name? Daniel Wu? That's the guy? Oh, he kicks the shit out of people, man. It's like a combination of sort of like Man with No Name, Wild West spaghetti western with Hong Kong style kung fu, where as long as you're willing to accept the premise in the first episode that for reasons that no one can really explain, nobody uses guns anymore and everybody has to beat the shit out of each other, like as soon as you accept that, the show is just so much fun. And you should accept it immediately because it facilitates some of the greatest ass beatings in television history, in my opinion. Yeah, he really is. He's incredibly talented. One of the best things to come out of Linkin Park. I was just having a conversation about Linkin Park the other day, as a matter of fact. And remarking that that first album they did was, like, really good. Like, really good. And I was not a fan of almost anything they did after that. I think it's kind of funny how that works out sometimes. Not that they were one-hit wonders, they had several hits, and some of their later stuff was pretty decent. But you know how that happens with any generation of music? There'll be one band that comes along, and they do something that's fresh and new and interesting and unique and creative, and then for the next 10 years all you hear are a bunch of talentless assholes ripping that band off. And it can weirdly kind of sour you on the original band sometimes, and that happened to me in the 2000s with Linkin Park, because fucking everybody was aping Linkin Park after that first album came out. Oh, hey, thank you. Thanks, Shino. I appreciate the remarks. I don't know why the hell people show up. All I do is abuse my audience. I make Kat moderate for me, and then I send her, like, old dried-up fucking crushed Doritos in envelopes as her reward. Lost faith in new metal being popular, so they went soft on... Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. And yes, my audience abuses me right back. I have a plan for you to be able to abuse me more efficiently in the near future. I think you guys will like it. We're going to have a series of pre-recorded bits of abuse by the incredibly talented Chaotic Harmony that you are going to be able to play at me periodically if I mess something up. And it's going to work out for everybody, because you guys will get to let me know how much of an asshole I am, and I'll get to listen to Chaotic Harmony, and that just makes me happy, like, every single time. He puts a smile on my face. But don't tell him that. Chaotic Harmony is a nice guy, and he is super duper talented, and I wish him all the best, but I would never say that to his face. Really appreciate about Enter the Dragon during Bruce Lee's briefing with the British. He asked, why not bring a gun? That reminds me of that scene from freaking Indiana Jones. You guys, I mean, this is such a popular story by now. I'm sure everybody knows it. But you know, in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, so the story goes, the scene where Indy is confronted by the guy with the big old sword was supposed to initially be like a big, well-choreographed fight scene, and that dude was like a sword specialist, and on the day they were shooting, I guess Harrison Ford was ill, he had a cold, he was feeling under the weather, what have you, and he sort of asked, like, wait, don't I have a gun? Couldn't I just shoot him? And so we get one of the greatest scenes in film history, because Harrison Ford was like, why don't I just shoot that man and then move on with my day? And that dude didn't get the big cool scene that he wanted to have. He got a bunch of other scenes. I'm pretty sure that is the same... Indy killed that same actor like a couple of times in different fights. Yeah, it's a pink... Interestingly enough, Shinoda Beast, this cockpit was chosen by my viewers. I didn't know what color to paint it, and I'm like, what should I do it? And of course, because this is the internet, the first thing somebody said was, make it pink! And because I'm an asshole, I'm doing it. So... But I think it works. Yeah, it has kind of a cyberpunky feel to it. Dysentery. Did he have dysentery, actually? I hope he didn't. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter now. He clearly got over it. Of course, that brings me to a subject that makes me want to vomit a little bit, and that is the fact that we're getting another Indiana Jones movie, you guys. Hooray! Is everybody excited for Indiana Jones 5 with like a 70-year-old Harrison Ford throwing knee-height kicks at people half his age? I don't fully know how to feel about that. Like, I know how I do feel about it, but I want to feel another way. And I can't make myself. I don't think. I mean, after Kingdom of the Crystal Skull... Now, Shinoda, you bring up a very interesting point. Because if somebody said to me, we're making an Indiana Jones movie, and then they were like, we're rebooting it and casting Chris Pratt as Indy, I'd be on board. Like, I don't even know if that would be a great idea, and I have my own issues with Chris Pratt as an actor, but I'd watch the shit out of that. Like, I'd show up. I'd pay the ticket price, which is something I don't even do all that much anymore. I'm not like a big film thief or anything like that. I like to pay for what I watch, but I don't go to the theaters so much anymore. What? What's getting sad? What did I say? Wait. Hold on. Chris Parnell in Top Gun 2? In what role? Oh. Why the hell is Automod even on? I thought I turned that off. There you go, Shinoda. You can fucking curse as much as you want. We don't have language fucking rules around here. What do you think is going on? I mark this stream mature because sometimes I get naked. No, I don't. I don't get naked. I do sometimes talk about Willem Dafoe's massive penis, and that's just something that you guys are going to have to deal with. And, you know, I apologize if that makes you uncomfortable, but it's an important part of my life and an important part of who I am, and if you love me, you will accept it. Have I seen Sonic? Oh my god, are you saying good things about the Sonic movie? Is it actually good? It's like Ford is being cattle prodded out again. Yes, that is very much what it's like, MCB. That's... It really is getting kind of weird and pathetic. This is the second time I've heard something good about Sonic, and... You know, guys, I'm 32 now. I'm gonna be 33 in April. And my years on this earth have taught me to stop being surprised by things like that. You know what else was good? Fucking Detective Pikachu. I mean, what the hell right did Detective Pikachu have to be a watchable, quality movie? I don't think it had any right at all. And yet, I've seen it twice. Well, the problem with that praise, Shinoda, is that 20 times better than I expect is still fucking garbage. Yeah, it was Deadpool Pikachu. It was PG-13 Deadpool. And I don't think that that's really a problem, though. Like, I don't think they were even really pretending it was anything other than that. Ryan Reynolds certainly knew that that was what he was doing, was bringing his Deadpool shtick to a younger audience, and I think it resonated. And it kind of opened up a whole universe to set future Pokemon movies in, which could be kind of cool. Oh my god, that was terrible. Did you see what I did there? I was trying to put down a nice... Oh, that was awful. That was supposed to be a nice, thin, clean line, and it is a big, dag-nasty, hideous son of a bitch. Dag nasty. That's a word. Glorb. Yes. We should have, like, an emote for that. We should have something where somebody can push a button and the word glorb will pop up on the screen to let me know that I just glorbed some shit real hard. You know, Shinoda, have you seen The Nines? There's a movie called The Nines, as in the number 9, but spelled out, with Ryan Reynolds from, I want to say, 2005. I could be, like, real wrong with that. It wasn't even too much water. That was just me being sloppy, Verg. Liking the colors, huh? Oh. shit. You may be onto something. It does look good together. Like as a camo scheme or something, right? Like imagine if I took this bullshit that's on my thumb right now and did this across like broad plates on a mech. Like straight fucking Blood Dragon laser camo. Ooh. I'm gonna have to contemplate that. I don't hate that idea. I don't hate that at all. Custom gloves with mini advertising. That'd be good. That'd be a good one. I'll have like Windsor and Newton right here and like green stuff over here. Like they would fucking sponsor me. Yeah, right. Jesus. That's an interesting idea though. I like the way you think, Shinoda. You got a good brain. But then I've always said that. Who wants to make me a glorp emote? Maybe that should be the first emote. That's the first thing that's come up kind of naturally, and I feel like we could do with that. Cyber Knight, man, fucking send me some minis. Send me some of your badass mechs. The cool one that you've got. Send me some of your vehicles. I'll paint the shit out of them, man. I'll have a good time with it. Laser Dragon mechs would look great. Damn it, this is turning into kind of a cool idea. And Blood Dragon was an awesome game. Blood Dragon, oh my god, I love that game. It's nothing but references to movies that I love. It was like RoboCop and Terminator and Aliens, and then, you know, it's the voice of Michael Biehn, and I'm like, this game was made for me personally. Yeah, that's better. That's much more tight. You know what it is? I keep doing this. I feel like I spend more time fucking with my paint when I'm on stream, but... honestly, guys, streaming, talking, and painting at the same time is a weird skill that I'm gradually developing, but I'm doing better than I did the first few times when I just sort of stared at the screen for like 5 minutes at a time. Candy Mac. MCB, you're getting your Candy Mac, dude. I actually... okay, so... MCB suggested that I paint a mech like Candy when I was painting this Ostscout and wondering how I should paint the flames on him. He suggested painting them like cotton candy. And that's an insane idea. But MCB is so fucking cool, you guys. He is such a bro that I am gonna do it. Maybe I'll do it when I hit a goal or something, but I'm gonna paint up an Ostscout, this mech, in like candy ridiculous ass colors, and I'm gonna send it to MCB. It's gonna be his gift from me. Vergaderung recently sent me a version of this file that is split in two, so I will be able to do that. I mean, Vergaderung in no way has distributed any files based on legally owned CGL artwork, and I snapped my fingers and I spawned those files out of midair, and he is in no way legally responsible for me attaining them. That's what I meant to say, but I'm sure you guys knew that. Hey, Shinoda, thanks for stopping in. If you're streaming later, I'll pop over. I'll check out what you're doing in Jedi Fallen Order. I love that game. Whipped cream chest guns. See, my audience, you guys, you've got ideas. You get what I'm going for. You get what I'm going for. We'll have a Candy Mac painting stream. It'll be a stupid fun time. Yeah, I mean, really, legally speaking, I think you're all kinds of in the clear for personal distribution. You're absolutely right. Hang on, I gotta fix some of these shadows. This is getting nuts. I'm just slopping all over the place. Can't seem to get black paint to stick to my brush right now. Whipped cream chest guns a la Katy Perry. Yeah, with like a cherry on top. Like a sundae. The sundae mech. I could see that working. I'm just gonna try not to make too much of a mess here, but differentiate these a little bit. Without glorping black in too many stupid places. Just smart places. Well, looking to do things smart. You're watching the wrong person! Ha ha hoo hoo hee hee. There, that'll do. Yeah. To be fair, though, I don't paint any of my mechs in camo. For the most part. I do like the idea of, like, sponsorship and advertisement stickers on a mech, particularly if you're doing, like, a Solaris mech, like, just cover it in stupid slogans and shit. That could be fun. Okay, where was I? I am using my Wolfgrey to detail. That's what I'm doing. Trying to do my PPC arm here. Oh, I didn't get a chance to mention this while she was here, but Shinoda Beast is a friend of mine from down in San Antonio. Really cool chick. Lots of fun. Huge nerd. She has been getting back into streaming after an absence lately. If you feel like tossing her a follow, checking her out, watching her kind of get back up to speed playing Jedi Fallen Order, that's what I'm going to be doing later. She's pretty cool. She's funny, too. Huge nerd. Oh my god, ask her about her opinions on Sith and Jedi sometimes. Even I start to glaze over. In a good way. I glaze over in a good way. That's a thing, right? There we go. Glaze over in a good way sounds like a donut. It could also be like a painting thing, because I'm going to glaze over in a good way all over here before too long. Much appreciated, MCB. You know how important the community is here, man. I know you understand it. It's all about networking and making friends on here, man. At least that's what I've been making it about. I've been having such a good time on Twitch, you guys. I can't even begin to really describe how much fun I've been having these last few weeks. And then MCB stops in, and I get even more excited. I've been connecting with old friends that I haven't talked to in years. And do me a favor, chat, real quick. Just real quick, take a second out of your day and thank Cat Ion. Thank her for moderating. Thank you for her assistance. Thank you. You really just thank her once, but I'm describing that the thank you to Cat Ion is for all the help that she has given me, for the moderation here, for Discord, for the frame that I've got around my face and the printer cam. She threw those together for me just on a whim. She's been a huge freaking help. She's so enthusiastic. And she's one of those friends I'm talking about. I don't think Kat and I have spoken since... It's been years. It's been since I left my hometown in western Colorado before I joined the Army. That was a long damn time ago. I think maybe we chatted online once or twice since then. But she's just such a cool fucking person, and I'm so glad to have gotten back in touch with her after all this time. And again, holy shit helpful. So helpful. Making it possible for me to actually improve this stream on a semi-weekly basis, which I do try to do. I think my voice sounds better this stream, for instance, than it has in the past. I've had some pretty rough vocals for the first few. But man, I've never done anything with sound design or recording. I'm real fresh to all this. Back when I had long, luscious locks. Oh yeah, those were the days, huh? God, that hair was a pain in the ass to maintain, which is really why I don't have it anymore. I'm glad somebody remembers, though. Let me ask you a question, chat. Is that music I've got going from Pretzel, is that at a decent volume? Because one of the biggest problems I have is my mixing volume from different sources right now. I'm getting better at it, but I just want to know that you guys can hear it and that it's not distracting. Excellent. I appreciate your appreciation. No, thank you. We did this earlier. It was stupid. I think somebody wound up posting a Captain America meme at some point. I'm glad to hear that. Because, yeah, I've just been tweaking. And, I ask you guys because you guys are the ones actually watching, and I realize that it sounds a little bit different to me than it does to you guys. I probably didn't even have to say that out loud. I realized that was so fucking obvious. God, these little details are so tiny. I'm just trying to pull out the undercarriage bits detail-wise a little bit. Now you can really start to get a feel for how the finished fire hose is going to look. I'm going to come back to this weapon effect a little bit later. Put some scratches on his fist. Because what's he been doing with this thing except punch botting, right? What does a punch bot do with a fist except punch bots? I don't know. I propose nothing. Oh, get the right consistency. One of these days I'll get the right consistency. Consistency is important, they say. Or so I have read. Nope, don't put the paint down in the crevice. That's the one place you're trying to avoid. Remember that. Important tip. It is indeed a battle fist. I don't think he actually gets that quirk, though, does he? I like the way you think, JT. I really like the way you think, Cat. Goddamn. Who punches the punch bot? Who indeed? Who punches the punch bot? So I'm just gonna segue that right into who here has watched the new Watchmen show on HBO? Because I loved it. Just get that out of the way before somebody comes in going, it was bullshit. I don't expect everybody to have loved it, and I won't criticize you at all for saying that you did not like Watchmen or that you have problems with it. I think it was probably a fairly divisive piece, but then Watchmen always has been. But I personally thought that the show was absolutely fantastic. It was thoughtful. It was clever. It was provocative. It paid homage to the original source material while not so much telling a sequel story as remixing the content of the original. And it had Jeremy Irons playing Adrian Veidt, which I didn't know was going to be my favorite thing, but it is my favorite thing. I can see that, JT. That was the criticism that it got when it first came out. A lot of people came out of that first episode going, oh, liberal propaganda. I don't know if you finished the series, but I strongly recommend that you do. Because it is certainly politically charged, but then so was the original Watchmen. And it's not as kind to... And I'm not going to get into anything talking about the merits of any political leanings or politicians, or I avoid those subjects like the plague because they drive me crazy. I definitely have opinions on them, but the fact is you probably don't want to hear them. Most people don't. But it really wasn't kind to anybody. it had much more of a alright, get up off the motherfucking pool and get inside before the kids see you. That was one of the best lines that Regina King has ever had, and Regina King has had some fantastic lines in her career. By the end of the series, it's not really being nice to anybody. If it were going to liken itself to any real political movement today, I think the point, or if it could be said to be making a modern political point, I would think that it would be rich people are playing y'all for a bunch of fucking fools, which I think is a message that people on both sides of the political divide can really get on board with these days. Whether you agree with who it is that's pulling one over on you or not, we can all agree that there's some motherfuckers out there who are pulling the wool over our eyes. But as long as we're pulling the wool over our eyes, that wool should be in the form of an incredibly entertaining show written by... yeah, that works. Damon Lindelof. Damon Lindelof, who I did not give any credit. Yeah, save the politics for the 30-25s when politics are good, man. Politics with a PPC, that's what I'm talking about. But Damon Lindelof, I did not give any credit ever since Lost. I'm sure you all remember Lost. I blamed him for what happened in Lost for a long time, and I am no longer convinced that he was at fault for that. I believe I have discovered that was mostly J.J. Abrams who pulled that bullshit on us. Because after watching Watchmen, I moved on to another HBO series done by Damon Lindelof called The Leftovers, which I also found incredibly enjoyable. Again, I don't think I'd say everyone will enjoy this, everyone should watch it. It's not necessarily a fun show to watch, but as far as character drama and writing goes, I don't know that I've ever seen anything better. Oh god, there's a big glorp right there, I'm just going to leave it. Well, obviously, death to the Capellan Confederation. Does that even need to be said, JT? Death to the Capellan Confederation. Like, that's the standard rallying cry for everyone the galaxy over. The only better rallying cry than that is, I'll see you at the casino in the Magistracy of Canopus, because they have the best goddamn casinos. It's a bit verbose for a war cry, but, you know, it's also kind of a marketing plug, so what are you going to do? Alright, I've done that. I'm going to come in with some blue. Ooh, AFK to get tacos started. Make me some tacos! White Wolf? What kind of tacos, man? Also, death to Davion. I would get on board with death to everybody except for the fantastic and wonderful factions of the Free Worlds League. Because if you want to talk shit about the Free Worlds League, well, we're going to have a problem. They do have cat girl hookers in Canopus. The Magistracy of Canopus is an interesting place. Most certainly. I have heard rumors of these cat girl hookers. I have not seen them myself. I cannot verify their existence, but I'm interested. In a general sense. I'm mixing up a blue that I'm going to put onto this PPC shot to start trying to make this look a bit more intentional. Well, but that's just it. Part of the beauty of the Free Worlds League is that you can't blame it all on any one Merrick. You can't even blame it on House Merrick. It's really a melting pot of idiots, all with their own goals and their own methods, all trying to out-dumbass one another. And that's part of the appeal for me. Chaotic Harmony. This guy. Have I talked enough about Chaotic Harmony in this chat today? At least I got all the compliments out of the way before he showed up. I would hate for him to get an inflated head. His head's inflated enough as it is. I won a drawing on Chaotic Harmony stream the other day. He's apparently sending me a Dark Age era... Was that a Locust 2C? Stinger 2C, not a Locust. Locust 2C would have been an earlier era. But that's cool as hell, man. He's gonna get a place of honor in my displays. I'm just painting these little lightning bolts around the PPC shot. I'm going to bring these up a few more levels of blue, but for the moment, this is a good base. Stinger 2C, thank you. Stinger 2C, Wasp 2C, what the hell's the difference? I mean, really, ultimately. Do people actually play Dark Age era games? I think people play more games of classic Battletech set in the Dark Age era than they play games of MechWarrior Dark Age at this point. Not that that's too hard to do, because good luck finding that game. But still. I need some of this ghost gray. Yeah, IWM was like, what's selling the least? Let's send that one to Chaotic Harmony. Okaral, yes, I did in fact print this. Somebody uploaded these to Thingiverse really just a few days back. And it was a bit of a tricky print, I'm not gonna lie. It took quite a bit of reconfiguration to get it to a point where I liked it. But now it looks pretty nice after a little bit of tweaking. And the fact that he made them available for free makes it kind of hard to argue with, you know? Like, oh no, it's not perfect, and I spent 2 cents on it, so... Yeah, that's the kind of blue I'm looking for. Give me some more of that. Which link for Gatorone? Which one have I missed? I haven't been in a position to put up a link. Oh, Coral. Okay, I'll get that right next time. The weapon effects. Yes, I'm sorry about that. I'll get that put up on the Discord. In fact, Vergatorung, do me a favor. In the Discord under 3D printing, just ping me real quick with a reminder to do that. And when I get off the stream, I'll post those up. Yeah, the tech in that era is weird. I like it because when I look at it, what I see in the Dark Age era is I see Battletech making an attempt to kind of return to its roots. The roots that I really appreciate, which is the 3025 early battle droids kind of, oh, Mad Max in space theory. And I realize not as many people miss that as I do. But I do. I really do. Alright, so I want the brightest point to be here at the end of the PPC shot, because that's what's coming out, and I just want some streaks kind of going back. It's not up yet, Chaotic Harmony. It's not up. I was actually just talking that up. I'm hoping by next stream to have the soundboard with your remarks available. I would have done it this weekend, but I was at Genghis Khan playing classic Battletech. But yes, reminding me not to drink the paint water is one of the voice clips that Chaotic Harmony has done for me. And I'd like to make these available to you, the viewers, to let me know when I'm doing crazy and idiotic things. Not that you don't already do that, but this will be more fun. I like a lot of what they did in the Dark Age, but you know, my attitudes towards Battletech are such that when you say like agromech or industrial mech, I get excited. The notion of taking a piece of industrial equipment and outfitting it for combat and having that be the only thing that you have available, that is very much what appeals to me about a lot of the early Battletech lore. That's looking pretty decent. The notion that you're not choosing the best mech for the job, you're choosing the mech that you have, and you're grateful for the fact that it can stand up on 2 legs at all. That's really my favorite feeling that I get when playing Battletech. Alternatively, that's my explanation for why I always lose. Is because I ironically choose bad mechs. The best pronunciation was okay oral. That I didn't even see that, but now I like it. Aw, Gypsy's here? That's awesome. Hey, Gypsy. Thanks for stopping in. Alright, let's see. What am I missing? I'm going to get some of this on the lower side. Not like a lot, though. What are you up to today, Chaotic Harmony? You doing any map building or anything? This guy also... I mean, I'm sure most of you people in here who would be watching me already know about Chaotic Harmony. He streams MechWarrior Online a lot of the time. He streams Tabletop Simulator, either map building or playing. He's an incredibly talented map builder. I really like some of the stuff that he's done. He's been trying to get more into physical map building and sales lately. Not finding as much traction there, but that's a hard business. The fact is, his designs are high enough quality that, man, if you keep doing it, you keep working at it, and people are gonna be picking your stuff up. Oh my God, have I seen the Suits episode of Love, Death, and Robots? Yes. That episode is so fucking cool. Like, Suits has come the closest to inspiring me to write my own rule set for a mech-based skirmish game that I have ever come in my entire life. I actually... And I hate to talk about projects that I'm like, I'd love to do this giant thing, because I feel like, you know, everybody has those projects where it's like, I had this brilliant idea, now all I have to do is become incredibly talented and become super devoted and do it for like 10 years and then it'll work. And talking about it is just a pipe dream, but it got me the closest I've ever been to writing my own rule system for a mech-based skirmish game built around that concept of a PvE where the players have granularly constructed mech suits, and then they have to fight against waves of aliens or zombies or cyborgs or drone robots or what have you. I even came up with like a backstory for it. I just like I don't know how to get off the ground with a project like that. I've never built a game. I just know that I've got ideas for one, which obviously is tantamount to doing all the work of creating one, right? Now, I don't know if a project like that would ever emerge, but I can tell you that that episode certainly inspired the shit out of me. The cat episode was also great. The cat episode where we got to see Dracula's dong like a bunch of times. The cat episode where I learned that Dracula is uncircumcised, which is a strange thing for me to know. What color am I going for here? I forgot what I was doing. Okay, I need some of this wolf gray, that's right. Just to do some final detailing out here. What was Lucky 13? Remind me of what happened in that episode. Like, I remember... I don't remember what that one was about. Ah, shit, you guys. I think I have to watch Love, Death, and Robots again. Ah, damn. What a chore. Vampiric foreskin. You're right. There's no reason at all that he would not... Oh, yeah! Lucky 13, the dropship! That was a fucking cool episode. Now, you know what? I'm going to tell you what my favorite episode of Love, Death, and Robots was, and it may surprise you. It may surprise you. So I'm going to ask you guys a question, chat. Are you ready for this? I'm going to ask you what you think my favorite episode of Love, Death, and Robots was, and I'm going to preface it by saying that while Suits is certainly up there, it's not Suits. It is not Suits. So what do you think it is? I'll wait a minute, and then I'll let you know. And I'll get some white paint on the palette while I'm at it. Oh, thanks, White Wolf. I really appreciate it. Cyber Knight's out of ideas immediately. I'll just tell you. No, it was not the yogurt episode. That shit was bizarre. Now, I will say that I applaud JT going for the most unlikely answer he could think of, that being the weird-ass one that had... oh, why can't I remember his name? That actor. From that 70s show. Ah, shit. Well, it had him in it. No, my favorite episode was Zima Blue. Okay, Cat, that episode was also amazing. Where at the end it was revealed that she was living inside the monster the whole time and her human body was her projection. That was fucking amazing. But no, I liked Zima Blue. Three Robots was also excellent. That was a really... Okay, it's hard for me to say that any of those episodes weren't excellent. If I had to pick a least favorite, I'd probably say the Yogurt episode, and even it was pretty good. But I loved Zima Blue. That episode was so freaking cool. Maybe cool was the wrong word. It wasn't really cool, but it was good. It was meaningful. Also Exploding Cats, yeah. Now, Zima Blue was the one about the pool cleaning robot who surpassed his programming and became a artist. And then became like an intergalactically famous artist, and then gathered everybody together for his grand creation, the greatest art project he had ever done. And it was him returning to his former life as a pool cleaning robot. Because everything that he learned from attaining sentience and growing as an artist taught him that all he really wanted to be was what he always was. The simplest version of himself. The version of himself that had purpose. Without question. I thought that was a really great episode. How's that PPC shot looking? Let me see if I can't get it in focus. Sentience. Overrated. Yeah, I agree, Cyber Knight. All the episodes are great. There's a handful of them that I would watch multiple times. There. You guys see that PPC shot okay? How's that looking? I might do some OSL on his chest later, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I think that's a pretty neat look. I need to do the other PPCs in the same colors. Hit the middle of it with white too. That's a good idea. I'll probably come in and do that. Oh, another print finished. That's the first print that I've started on stream and finished on stream. How about that? Yeah, I think you're right. I'll do a little bit more white in here. I'll just get caught up on these other PPCs with a simple blue glow effect. Go to a bit of white. And just real gentle. Real gentle with the white. Don't need to be aggressive. Not looking to put it on real heavy or anything. Just enough to suggest that there's a big gun in there. Yeah, that's kind of cool, huh? Just the real faint blue glow of the PPCs in the chest and arm, and then the one firing a bolt of lightning. Yeah, let me bring some more white in there. I think Vergotterung is right about that. Just right down the middle is what I'm thinking. That's pretty good. Pew! Ska-chow! That's probably a sound that it makes. Should be glowing from every direction, so no reason not to do the underside. Boom! That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll post this up so you can get some printed out, Verg. Time to install magnets. Ooh, installing magnets is one of my favorite things. Stalker is a weird visual design. Walking pickle. You're not wrong. Yes, technically stalkers do have arms, they just don't look like arms. Because they're not really arms. They just say they are because they're liars. I'll lighten this pink a bit more for one more highlight on the cockpit. Just a small one. Nothing major, nothing extreme. Why go nuts? Other than the fact that it's super duper fun. You know, other than that. A little bit of medium. A stalker with T-Rex arms. Dude. I'm picturing a stalker with, like, the arms of a sentinel stapled onto his shoulders or something. That would be fucking ridiculous. The sentinel has such goofy-ass arms as it is. And they're just stapled onto either side of a hamburger. Ooh! That's a good idea. MCB, are you still in here? Because I know of a mech that looks like the fucking Hamburglar. Like, it looks like a hamburger with arms and legs and like a gun sticking out of one side. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it exists. Maybe that's what I should do for you. Is a sentinel. Burger bot, right? Would somebody please link MCB to the Sarna article on the Sentinel? I can't guarantee the old sculpt is going to look as much like a burger as the new one does, but... Or as the one that Tiny Robots in a Box did. But it always reminded me of a burger. Maybe I just like burgers, I don't know. Urban burger competitor. Ooh, I didn't think of that either. But yeah, Vergaderung actually made a little building. And you could link that to MCB too. Cat, if somebody wants to post a link, you have to give them a permit for it. I did set that up, just so I didn't wind up with any crazy links in my chat. But, yeah, Vergaderung made a, frankly, amazing burger joint piece of terrain for Battletech called the Urban Burger. And it features an urban mech, who is sort of a classically trash can with a gun strapped on design, with a hilarious little hat on, sticking out of the top, with holding like a tray of fucking burgers. It's hilarious. It's right up there with his Kerensky fried chicken. It's one of my favorite things. Delivery by Savannah Master. Oh, God. This cockpit, this pink might just work. It might just work in the end. Until I screw it up, then it won't. It won't work if I screw it up, believe it or not. That's just paint right where I don't want paint. I'll let that dry and then fix it. I'm going to try putting the sunspot on these windows just to get a feel for how they look now. And I might want to do a wash over them, but then again, I might just leave them too. Delivery in 5 rounds or it's free! I apologize if you guys are trying to post links and you're getting blurbed out. Hang on a second, I can give you guys a permit. Let me see. It hasn't pinged you? Okay. Shift a bit of purple into the darker corners. I think you're probably right. And you know what I've got? I'm going to brighten it a little bit, but I have... this is almost too... This bottle of paint sounds concerningly solid inside. That's not a good thing. I'm going to put that aside for the moment. And yes, I'm going to go with a bit of a deeper purple and put it up into that. Oh, you know what I think I might actually do? Instead of that camo specs is maybe just put a purple wash to kind of bring it all in that direction and then do another quick highlight on it. Because that should darken and shade it pretty nicely. I think that's what I'm going to do, because I've got a nice purple tone here. As always, Army Painter Quickshade tones. Yeah, I'm going to have to touch that up a little bit. Well, you know, that's the nature of the beast. The beast being my shaky-ass hands. JT did get a random rant. It ended up being a positive rant, because all I really did was talk about how Robert Pattinson is an amazing actor who deserves your respect. Can I show off the roads again? You know what, White Wolf? Give me just a minute and I'll do exactly that, because I need to put down this wash. And then after it is down, I want to let it set. And part of the reason I think you're right, by the way, Camo Specs, is that on my side windows, the purple is much deeper than it is on the front and on the top, and I'd rather it match the sides. Also, this will help blend some of my sloppy-ass paintwork. Alright, MCB, thanks for stopping in, man. Really appreciate it. Always good to see you. I'll be in on your stream later, man. I'll say hi. And yeah, Gypsy, thanks for coming in. I appreciate everything that you do for MCB's stream, and I appreciate you getting out to check out what I do. Yeah, that's going to be nice. Once that dries, I think that's going to look really good. Right? You can kind of get a feel for it there without the glare. I like that. You just need to be sloppier, OTR. As sloppy as can be. Sloppy gets it done, as they say. Nobody says that. You did. You told me pink was good, and this proves that you're not wrong about absolutely everything, Verd. MCB, thank you so much for stopping in again, man. Chat, give a little bit of love to MCB TV. He has been hugely supportive of my stream here. He's given me tips. He's given me support. He's given me plugs on his channel, and he's just an all-around great fucking guy. And I really appreciate him stopping in today. He doesn't normally stop in for painting streams and stuff. He's more of a variety streamer, but, you know, I talk my stuff up enough. He wanted to check it out. I'm a pretty big deal. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That's one way to look at it. That's certainly true for a number of things. But, I look at miniature painting as sort of a, like, how I learned to stop worrying and love the bomb situation. You just can't... You can't hold too tightly. Just hold on loosely. But don't let go. If you cling too tightly, you're going to lose control. Alright, I probably haven't waited long enough to do this, but I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. And if it gets ruined, it's Vergaderung's fault. Nope, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I almost did it, and then I decided, no, that's stupid. I need to let that wash set just a little bit more before I do something crazy. Am I going to start another printing? You know, that's actually a good idea. That one has probably come off the plate by now. So yes, one moment. And I'm just going to be printing another one of these highway arches because I need several more of them for the next round of highways. I'll let that sit for a second. And I'm going to put this together with the rest of the highway ramp. because this is the first time I've had all of the parts printed. This is as good a time as any to take a look at it. For those of you who are unaware, I have created a monster. No, I have created a whole series of 3D printable Battletech hex-based 6mm scaled terrain pieces. I have organic-looking hills, and I have the set that I am really proud of, which is the Trinity City Urban Combat set. And yeah, urban combat in the Battletech universe is a war crime, but nobody seems to care, and urban fighting is fun, and it creates interesting map layouts. So, I set about making some hex-based, good-looking city terrain that was still gameplay-friendly. And this is the latest piece in that set, which will be available on Steel Warrior Studios in the immediate future. And I mean, the real heart of the highway system is really just these basic pieces, which is a simple straightaway that is 6 hexes long and has the hexes marked out on top as well as road lines and such. That creates a nice flat stable base for models to walk on, has a rail in the bottom. That rail connects into these hex-based supports. And you can then link them together into any length that you want. The significant design features of these being that they fit perfectly within 1.25-inch hexes, and that they create stable model platforms for figures to rest while you're actually playing the game, which is something that was very important to me, is being able to, like, well, I want to go into this hex, but there's stuff in this hex. Well, you can stand on top of it. That's a legal spot. That's a place you should be able to go. You can climb right up on top of that and then up onto the highway from there. And I've been carrying this forward into everything that I do for this whole system. But what I've just finished printing is a way to integrate. I do, O'Coral. These are these files I'm talking about right now will be available for sale on SteelWarriorStudios.com, and you can find links to all of this and usually updates on my Discord and on my Facebook page as well. These will be available in the next few days. I have 1 or 2 little kinks to work out, but the real minor ones. I'm really pleased to note that even after doing the test prints, there just aren't any major problems with these pieces. I was expecting to have to do a lot more grunt work on them, but it's really just a few small things to fix, a couple of tolerances to increase. But I put a lot of design requirements on my work. One of them for this was that I wanted a ramp to connect the already existing 4-lane road system with the raised 6-lane highway system, while still maintaining the general paradigm of every hex being a legal place to stand, which on a slope is tricky. The other thing is that when you print on a slope, you can see here, when the light catches it, you see those print lines? Those little layers? There's a good angle for it. You can see all those little lines. So if you just printed this piece in its normal orientation, JT, where the hell do you get all these things? Where are all these points coming from? It's unbelievable. You know, I'll give you a random rant in just a minute. Let me finish plugging my shit, and then you're gonna hear my opinion. You hear my opinion about some things. You know what I got for you, JT? I have a rant about The Mandalorian. I'm just gonna complain about that fucking show because it bothers me. A lot of things about that show fucking bother me, and so I'm gonna complain about it in a moment. I gotta raise my damn prices if I'm gonna have things like that on my channel points. Okay, so selling point number 1. These pieces all print lying flat. What lying flat means is that instead of having that stepped appearance, you can have this nice, smooth, ironed surface on top, despite the fact that this is going to be sitting at an angle of about like that. So, you can just put primer on this and paint it. You don't have to put filler on it or anything. You don't have to worry about print lines. This piece slots into the base piece, like so. And then it slots into this upper piece, like so. And this creates this nice little stepped, tiered design. This part goes on the ground. This part connects into one of the highway supports, like so. And now you have a ramp going from ground level up to level 3 where the highway starts. But it doesn't stop there, because these pieces that I've been printing have little slots that they go into. Did I print the wrong piece? Okay, I printed one too many of a piece. But imagine that there are 2 of these pieces instead of just 1. And they would be 2 here and 2 here. And now, what we can do is go from one end to the other. Or one end to the other, rather. We are on level 1, or rather we're on level 0. Now we're on level 1 and we can stand there. And we're still on level 1 and we can stand there. If there was another one here too, you can stand right there. You can stand right there. You can go up another level. You can go forward there. And every single position on this slanted thing that normally if you tried to stand a model on, it would be like this and not work like at all. Now, you have flat positions. And you have no gameplay problems with it at all. At least, that's the theory. That's the goal. I really like how this came together. I'm going to be posting more pictures of this on the Discord, but now, in combination with the other parts that I have, you should be able to take, you'll have 2-lane roads and 4-lane roads, they can all connect to one another, and the 4-lane roads can flow into a highway, they can go around the city, and they can come down in another spot. Yeah, and the levels are obvious, without being visually distracting, I feel like. Like, it just looks... I like to think that all the little level keys look pretty natural, like they're supposed to be there, but just when you then go to put a mech on it, you realize, oh, I can actually balance here, which is pretty nice. So JT paid for a random rant. And the first thing I thought of is The Mandalorian, and, you know, maybe it's too recent. Maybe it's too popular. Maybe you're thinking, no, don't do that. I love Baby Yoda. Well, you're wrong. You're wrong. I guess you're not wrong that you love Baby Yoda. I don't know how you could be wrong about that. But you're wrong to love Baby Yoda. And that's because Baby Yoda is a fucking marketing campaign, you guys. Well, most things are marketing campaigns. You know, if it's being produced, it needs to make money. If it needs to make money, they're going to make decisions based specifically around making money. But rarely have I seen something that was just a bold-faced fucking cash grab as that stupid fucking Baby Yoda. How, Thunderhead, how can you hate Baby Yoda? I do. I really do. The best part of that series for me was when Jason Sudeikis dressed as a scout trooper was punching Baby Yoda in the satchel, because I'm thinking, yes! Someone understands. Of course, he doesn't. I don't think Jason Sudeikis hates Baby Yoda at all. I think he got paid quite a lot of money for that funny little bit role. Actually, he probably didn't. That might have been one of those just cameo bits where you kind of wander onto set. Baby Yoda represents a fundamental misunderstanding, I believe, about the established lore of the Force and our main characters. And I get that they can change it anytime they want. It's their property. But I'd prefer that they stick to their own fucking rules sometimes. I'm not even complaining about Force healing. I'm going to complain about that time that he levitated that stupid fucking rhino when he reaches out with his little claw and he closes his eyes and it's adorable and he lifts the rhino into the air and he saves the day. So many things are wrong with that scene, first of all. The fact that he lifts the rhino into the air, drops it on the ground, and the Mandalorian stabs him in the shoulder blade with a fucking knife, and that apparently hits him in the heart and he falls over and dies? Like, what is the anatomy on this creature? But that aside, can we just recognize that we're saying that a small green creature has the ability to perform feats of Force sorcery on a level that Yoda himself at 800 years old had to close his eyes and concentrate to equal? Now, an X-Wing almost certainly weighs more than a crazy rhino beast, yes, but Luke had to train for years before he was able to... Let me simplify it. When we found out that Yoda was 900 years old, it inspired us. We thought, oh shit, this dude's like, he's a master, he's been around the block, he knows. That's why he's so powerful with the Force. That's why he knows what he's doing. Because for 900 years has he trained Jedi, and his own counsel will he keep. But then Favreau comes along and goes, oh no, it's because he was born a fucking Force Goblin, and all the Force Goblins can just use the Force. So what you're telling me is that Yoda may be kind of a moron. Yoda may in fact be the asinine, over-the-top, brain-damaged fucking swamp hermit that he sold himself as the first time that he encountered Luke. That may simply be true. Everything he says may be complete nonsense from the mind of a moron who's only strong because he was born to the right family. And there's a lot of that in Star Wars these days. There's a lot of this concept of you having the Force by being born to the right family. Not that that wasn't an element of Luke and Vader to some degree, but not to the degree that it is now, where everybody's got to be fucking related to somebody. So, you know, too long, didn't read. The Mandalorian is about 6 episodes of filler, 2 episodes of content, should have been a movie, most of it's poorly written, the gunfights are fucking bad, and Baby Yoda's stupid. And if you like it, you're wrong. And, you know, you're not wrong that you like it, you're wrong for liking it. All that said, if you enjoyed The Mandalorian, that's awesome, and I'm glad you guys are getting Star Wars content that you enjoy. But I'm not, and that irritates me. Because to be a little gatekeepery, I fucking weathered the storm of the 90s and the 2000s as a Star Wars fan, and that was not easy. And they're paying me back by just shitting in my mouth. Which I realize is the most appetizing thing I've said on this stream so far. But whatever, Star Wars isn't for me. Star Wars is for little kids. Now. Always was, I guess. Yoda had more midichlorians. Oh, Vergaderung. Oh, Vergaderung. You say things that make me want to fire hate beams sometimes, but only in the most loving and positive possible way. And yes, Force Goblin is my term. I'm copywriting that. A matte clear coat will make that look better. Yeah, dude, you know what I'm talking about. When the only new content we had were like the extended universe books, like 80% of which were just complete garbage. Just so bad. So terrible. Yeah, tacos probably are more appetizing than what I was talking about. Yes, that particular rant has come to an end. I could rant more about The Mandalorian because it has more fucking problems, but I'll say, you know what, you'll get another Mandalorian rant at some point. I won't make it the next one. But down the road, I'll start talking about how the gunfight in the first episode of The Mandalorian was just mind-bogglingly stupid. In fact, maybe we should make this a thing. You tell me something that you love, unironically love, and I will find something to bitch about. Because I promise you I probably can. I got a bunch of friends who are super into Fury Road. And, I'll go off on that movie. Like, bad. You know, that's a good idea, Kat. I should just have a list of rant topics ready to go so I can just roll right into one. Hammerhead part's done. How's it coming together, Cybran? That's pretty reasonable, I think. That splotch is pretty splotchy on this side, but it looks good from over here. Now, a really enterprising person would do something with this light effect on this cockpit glass, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just, you know, before anybody suggests it, I just want to get out of the way that I'm not going to do that. Well, they're done. You know what, man? Done is fucking fantastic. Done is so much better than sitting at 90%. Oh, you're going to limit it so I can't rant about the same things? You know, that seems fair. If I'm going to be charging you guys channel points to listen to me complain about things that you love, the least I can do is keep it fresh, right? And believe you me, I hate a lot of things. There are some things out there that just drive me up the wall. most of modern cinema. God, that sounds so pretentious. You know what? Just embrace the pretentiousness. Yes, I am kind of pretentious. I feel like knowing it makes it better. I want to get a little bit more in the corner to kind of push the shape of the cockpit glass. Yeah, that looks better. And a little bit more up here. So this cockpit is a 3D print that I did. For those of you who may not be familiar with the original sculpt for the AWS-8Q Awesome from Catalyst Game Labs. I wish I had another Awesome on hand to show you what the original looked like, but it has kind of a brow and this real narrow little cockpit, and this is a lot bigger. I actually think it looks pretty good. Online dating. That base question, referring to Forward Base as well as River Comm Center and foundations need to be purchased for... I think I missed your question, White Wolf. Hang on. Question comes to mind for both bases. Does one have to buy them with foundations or just buy the foundations on one, the buildings with the other? So the foundations are different. If that's what you're asking, White Wolf, the actual foundations upon which the bases sit are in different shapes and they have different details on them. They've got different bridges and ramps that connect them to the ground, and they fit together differently. Yeah, they're completely unique. They're very similar looking. They're made using a lot of the same assets and components, but they are separate bases. If you look on, I don't know if you own them, if you own the Catalyst Game Labs Grasslands map pack, if you go to their hex maps for Forward Base and River Comm Center, it's exactly that. It is precisely that footprint. So if you're using those maps, they'll fit on them perfectly. We used them the other day at the convention, where what we did was we took a standard hex map and laid it out and put the hills down, and then we put the base right on the edge of the hex map so it overlapped 3 to 5 hexes into the map and then stuck off the edge of the map. But what that did was extend the map significantly, because then you have all the hexes from the base. That worked beautifully. That wasn't even my idea. That was somebody else who came up with that, and that worked really well. And I know that's shocking that someone other than me would come up with an idea that's brilliant, and I know you're thinking like, well, fucking no way, but it happened. It happened, you guys. Every now and then. Every now and then it does. Any thoughts, discussions on a tier of purchase that comes with the STLs for everything all in one rather than piece by piece? Sentient Pickle, I think we're only now reaching the point where we have enough, where there's enough variety in the files that I've released to make a bundle pack worth considering. Now, admittedly, I leave most of that decision making up to Flavolicious over at Steel Warrior Studios, because I am not a business-minded person by any stretch of the imagination. I fucking fall apart when it comes time for me to make decisions regarding business and money and charging people money for things. I'm not good at it. I really am not. I have the instinct of just giving things away, which I don't know if you know this, but giving things away for free is a terrible way to turn a profit. I had to learn that one the hard way. But I'll ping him with that and suggest that now that we have enough variety of files, we should have a grand combo pack of sorts. I'm just putting a little black wash on these to kind of ease the colors together that I've got on there and get down in the crevices a little bit more on the PPCs, because I just don't like how bright they are. They're a little bit brighter in person than they are in the camera. And it just isn't really working for me. I think that's going to work better. Into the crevices, you say? I like to get deep, deep into the crevices. Oh, you taking off, JT? Awesome. Hey, thanks for coming out, man. I always appreciate your commentary. And you paid for 2 idiotic rants so far. I tell you what, JT, the quality of my rants is going to increase. So you keep coming back here and keep spending your points on that, and whatever you do, don't save your points for anything that I put higher on the list. You just keep spending it on rants. Chaotic Harmony, you know I'm all about getting in the crevices. Just in general. The crevices of life. That's where you find the good stuff. And a little bit more. I'm just going to do kind of all the undercarriage pieces, I think. I think black is going to help them. Maybe less so here. Maybe just around the edges here. Just around the edges on this, because I like where the color is. A little bit up here to E. Oh no, that's the wrong color. I stuck my brush in the wrong spot. I stuck my brush in the wrong spot. I should do a water slide decal tutorial. You know, maybe I will. I've got a bunch of them. I have a shitload of water slide decals, and I have a shitload of mechs and calves that could take decals. That's a good idea. I'll make that, I'll add that to the list. Not sure what you should paint next. Well, what are your options, Cybrin? We'll help you decide, bro. You tell me what you've got, and I will command you to paint something. Ooh. You know, I was at that convention for maybe 6 hours. Total. And I'm pretty sure I caught some fucking con crud. I can just feel it kind of building up in my lymph nodes, you know? I get that feeling. Oh, it's right on the edge. Yeah, you've seen that I like to highlight the crevices of the mini. I like to take my highlights and just jam them to the deepest parts and swirl it around. Makes me feel like I'm doing something productive. Dude, if you've got the choice between watching me and eating tacos, go eat some fucking tacos. White Wolf, eat a taco for me. For fuck's sake. Yeah, a little bit on the shoulders. What I want to do, I'm going to thin that just a bit. Gargle with some honey ginger bourbon. You know, maybe I'll just drink some bourbon. Would that do the same thing? I mean, I'm going to find out. White Wolf, thank you for coming in, man. It is a pleasure to see you. I'm glad you were able to make the stream this time. Go enjoy your tacos. Tacos are among my favorite things on the planet Earth. I lived in Texas for 10 years. I learned a great deal about tacos that I didn't know I could learn. And I like tacos. I get excited anytime tacos are brought up, pretty much. Gargle, then drink. Yeah, that's... See, now we're cooking with gas, or bourbon, at any rate. I think Chaotic Harmony might be into tacos, too. I don't know, it's possible. I can't really decipher his enthusiasm. Grab some tacos and wash them down with a nice Dos Mekis, am I right? Oh, I shouldn't even try to do that. I hate how much that joke makes me laugh. Like, I want you to know, Chaotic, that joke is stupid. Like, real stupid. And I think that may be why I laugh at it. And, I don't have any regrets. No regrets at all. Get your PPC ready for discharge. That's right, you're in Texas, aren't you, Chaotic? So you know what it's like to have a Tex-Mex joint on every freaking corner. It's amazing. It's like one of the best things. It's something that you don't understand how much you need until you have it and then you lose it. Wow, okay, this guy's actually hitting kind of a critical mass where I feel pretty good about how he looks. What do you guys think? I know. I could do OSL on this. I might come back in with an airbrush later and do a little bit of it and then highlight it up, but for the moment, I'm going to go in with how it looks. There's a point when you're painting a mini where you do a highlight and then you take a step back and you look at it and you're like, actually, that's pretty close to done. Yeah, I don't think I want to do OSL. The problem is that OSL could really start to drown out a lot of what I've done if I try to do it, even if I just do it on one side of the chest. I feel like that the single shot coming out of his chest is more than enough. Favorite PPC is the Steiner brand PPC. 4 shots of grain alcohol, 2 shots of peppermint schnapps. Goes down hot, comes right back up ice cold. Oh God. It's horrifying. Yeah, Sentient Pickle, that's genuinely a problem that I've had the entire time that I've been painting anything, is I'm never quite knowing when to say, okay, I'm done now. I did spy one thing I can do. One thing that I definitely want to do. Nothing major, but just a little bit of black wash on this radar dish. I have not painted his small laser in his head with a lens effect, but that's just a little fucking hole in his head, and I don't think I want to do that. Next awesome I paint, maybe I'll fill that in and paint that. But not this time so much. There. Yeah, I like this. Horrifying and canonical. A lot of things are canon in Battletech that are just complete and utter nonsense, to be fair. I mean, hell, at one point Buckaroo Banzai was canon. Let's just acknowledge and accept that. So, I think what I'll actually do is I'll spend a little bit of time working on his base. Because I've got this... I'm not really sure what I want to do with him. I'm going to make a crater for Firehose's base. I'm going to do a little bit of detailing on this cav. That's what I'm going to do. The question is, do I have any bases ready to go, or did I just commit to something stupid? No, I do. I have bases. Excellent. Canopian Cat Girls. Battletech is canon in Battletech. Well, we got a quote for that one, too. Alright, let me get some green stuff out. And I'm going to want to take this guy off of his painting pins so that I can position him on his base. Canopian Cat Girls. That's just exciting. That's just good, clean fun is what that is. Was I? It was wholly unconscious. I do like to wiggle to the beat. It's just not always on purpose. Ooh, what kind of basing tutorial? So I don't know how much basing I'm going to be able to do on this guy, just because... Look at this shit. Look at how much of the base he fills. I'm going to be able to put like one... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put one crater right in front of his feet, and then maybe a couple going back between his feet, as if like an LRM cluster hit. Right? That could look good. Cork! Dude, Cork is fan-freaking-tastic. What? What do you want, Chaotic? What demands do you place on me? No, 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 no. You're out of your goddamn mind. Lightning arcing from the water. Have the PPCs, like his nip PPCs, connected by a lightning bolt, you know? Woo! Yeah, dude, printers. Okay, so this is... These may be the first things that I made on my Ender 3. I was like, you know, how much economical sense does it make to just print my own bases? And the answer is quite a bit, actually. You can make them exactly how you want, and I was able to make these little recesses for washers, so all of my mechs have at least a little bit of weight on their feet. And I print these out in, like, batches of 50. They're so, so nice. I haven't bought a base in a long time. And then if you get a resin printer, you can print really, really detailed ones. Dude, if you want some, I will legitimately send you some simple bases with the washer recesses in them. They cost me almost nothing to make. Yeah, the peg was, I've learned a lot since I've started working on 3D printing. You learn what your tolerances are. Somebody suggested removing the pegs early on, and that was a good idea. At the time, I was trying to be super precise about everything, and I was just overdoing it like I usually do. So, I'm going to use a little bit of super glue to glue Fire Hose down to the base temporarily, but he will be easily pried back up. And I'm only doing this because that will give me some good reference for where I want to put my base details. So he's getting a tiny amount of super glue on the insides of his feet without any other prep. Because I don't want him to stick down permanently, I just want him to stick down for right now. In roughly the position he would have been in otherwise. Trying to get as much of his body over the base itself as I can so he's not hanging off like crazy. But that's kind of a tall order because the Awesome is huge. It's just a big model. I mean, you know, it's a big fucking mech. And I was setting him a little bit further back on the base so that his nipple shot isn't not sticking as far out as it potentially could be. Because that is just going to be asking to get knocked off if I'm not careful. Oh, hold up. Teeny bit more, because I screwed up. Which, you know, these things do happen. Oh, he's a big boy. He is a big boy. That seems just about perfect. His feet aren't even hanging that far off the base. I mean, they're hanging off the base, but in a manageable sense. Alright, I'll let that set for a minute while I mix up some green stuff. Dude, Thingiverse will eat whole days. There's so much shit on there. Most of it's not worth making, and then you find the things that are, and oh my god. Yeah, you know, I could have done that Vergata but that's not what I want to use the green stuff for in this case. He's going to be glued straight down to the base. See, what I'm doing is I'm attaching him temporarily, and then I'm going to do the green stuff around his feet for the craters, and then I'm going to texture everything, and then I'm going to paint the base separately, then I'm going to glue him down. Oh, as a marker where he goes, well, where the hell were you when I was coming up with this plan, man? You with your ideas. Out of your damn mind. We don't take hints around here, okay? We do things the hard way. Play board games too. I'm kind of over Catan. Print out some 3D terrain hexes to make the game cooler. You know, 3D toys for board games make them more engaging for me too. I completely understand that. I mean, I like war games, don't get me wrong. I love the crunch of it. I love rolling the dice. I love facing off against my opponent. But, looking at this empirically, really lining up end to end the parts of the wargaming that have appealed to me over the years, what I really like are like posing little figures. I think that's really the meat of my hobby, is playing with toys. So I can totally understand how that would maybe freshen the game up a little bit for you. I enjoyed Scythe more. I painted a whole set of Scythe for a friend of mine, and I immediately enjoyed playing the game more once we had everything painted and a bunch of extra little pieces printed up for the various resources and such. Some really cool looking maps, by the way, Chaotic Harmony. We're going to dig some of those out next time. I got a buddy who's coming up to visit me from Texas to Colorado in June to hang out and just play games in my game room for a while. And he has never played BattleTech before, but he's interested in it, and we played on Tabletop Simulator for the first time last night and had a blast. And we're going to be phasing over into using some of your maps. Speaking of which, you should toss at me, Chaotic, toss at me some of the resources you have for... I was watching you play. You've got some stuff like mech sheets where you can just like click and change their armor values and change their ammo values and everything like that. Like, you should link me that. You should definitely link me that. They're just built into the map? Okay, well that's easy. Oh, I should put the cap on this glue. Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was something that I had to subscribe to, like some of the other resources. Let's see. I want my focus to come a little up. And for working with green stuff, just a general tip, I like to use silicone tools because they don't like to stick, and then put a little bit of water on them, and then they really don't like to stick to the green stuff, because you definitely want the green stuff sticking down to your subsurface. Now all I'm going to do here is I'm going to push this green stuff out into a shape that I know is going to fit around his feet, and then I'm going to pop him off, and I'm going to sculpt it into the shape that I want it to be. But this will just let me know, okay, don't go any further than you've gone, and his feet will fit around whatever it is that you've done. And yeah, this is almost certainly more complex than it needs to be, but it's the method I've been using so far for Rampart Company. And, don't tell me what to do, Mom. Alright, now I'm going to pop him off. Set fire hose aside for the moment. Yeah, Chaotic Harmony. In fact, Chaotic, you should post those up. Yeah, dude, put them in the Discord. Absolutely, please do. Chaotic Harmony has made these really cool handmade foam hex maps. They're a bit large, so I think that makes shipping complicated, but they're really cool maps. They look awesome. And they have that classic appeal of the handmade gaming resources. Made them out of that extruded XPS foam, the pink insulation foam, which is one of the most amazing, materials for like home brewing with. Yeah, I love your stuff, Chaotic. You can absolutely post that up. Please do. Awesome. Anybody who's not in the Discord, what the hell's wrong with you? I mean, you should join the Discord. That's what I meant to say. In a non-pejorative sense. I always put down too much green stuff, and my craters end up being kind of exaggerated, but there are worse things than having exaggerated craters, I suppose. Take some of that off. Awesome. I'm glad to have you, Sentient Pickle. We need all the pickles we can get, and the more sentient pickles we have, the faster my Discord will move towards the pickle rights movement, which is something that I feel very passionate about. That's not bad. Decent little pattern that looks like maybe a cluster missile hit. Ease those edges out a bit. Bit of a greasy mess. Looking like the kid that delivered my pizza. I'm joking, of course. No one delivers pizza to me out here. If they did, I would eat nothing but pizza. I already eat almost nothing but pizza, and they don't even deliver it out here. I am a picture of health and quality eating. that's a good one. I think that's pretty decent. Well, you're one of the good ones. Oh, Coral. Oh, hold on, I want to do this other crater just a little bit deeper, as if it landed after the big one. Yo, bro, I heard you like craters, so I put a crater in your crater. Well, see, you got to change our negative stereotypes about pizza delivery guys. You're doing your part for pizza delivery folk across the world. Fight the power. That's what I always say. That and eat the rich. Ah, damn, my hand is cramping up. What the hell? What I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these since I got them. If you're going to be doing this, also dip your razor blade in water every couple of minutes. That way you won't drag chunks of green stuff around. You'll just leave this kind of nasty-ass texture behind. Damn, now I kind of want pizza. I'm so suggestible. It's terrible. McB comes in and I'm like, I want burgers. Fucking O'Coral's like, I deliver pizzas. And I'm like, deliver me one. Not sure how these craters are going to look when I'm done. I don't know, I'm not as happy with this as I have been with some of my other ones. But the good news is I can do this whole base from start to finish, get it painted up, take a look at it, and then if I don't like it, throw it in the fucking trash because it cost me like 2 cents. The rims look a bit high, but in scale they'd only be a few feet high, and craters get a lot deeper than that, so... And like artillery impact craters from modern firearms get deeper than that, so I think advanced LRM systems from the future can probably equal cannon shot from the Napoleonic War. Well, that might be a little bit far back, but you know what I mean. Anything we've got. It's a reasonable enough texture, I think. I always want pizza. Dude, I totally feel you. Checked out shipping. Yeah, it's like $40 to ship internationally. That is a huge pain in the ass, and that makes me sad every time I hear you say it, because those maps are so fucking cool. And I feel like if you didn't have to pay shipping on them, they would be so much more appealing. But they're big. But then the fact that they're big and you can link them together into a larger map is like kind of part of the appeal. That's certainly one of the things I like about them. Yeah, that's a busted up piece of ground right there. Yeah, he'll be able to stand over it like so. Like somebody launched some LRMs at him and nearly hit him in the junk, but just missed. Making it with hinges, ooh. Now you're talking my language. Now you're talking about over-engineering, and I am all about over-engineering. But yeah, some crazy feature like that might also just push somebody over the edge into being like, the shipping's worth it. You never know. Just smoothing these edges down with one of my silicone tools and a bit of water here. All this is going to get some texture over it, except the actual internals of the, craters. Craters, that's the word. That's the one. You know how it is. Make it like a little carry box. Oh, like a suitcase. Like you fold it over into like a little matte briefcase and it's got a handle and you could carry it with you. That's a cool idea. I was talking with Napes at Tiny Robots in a Box about potentially doing a dropship that doubles as a carrying case for mechs, like a mech scale dropship with like a handle. Maybe you could screw and then pop off the top and have some foam in it or something. That could be pretty cool. Yeah. Dude, I want to see that. That sounds cool as shit. Italian restaurant you work at is closing down. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, O'Coral. That's just a pain in the ass, isn't it? That's just kind of how it goes. Anytime you get settled somewhere, the invisible hand of free market economics comes along and doesn't even give you the reach around. You know? It's just cruel. I do not envy anybody who is job hunting right now. I don't know where you're job hunting, but it's not, even in a good job market, it's not exactly fun. Nobody's having a good time. Nobody's like, oh boy, I get to go hunt for a job. So I'm going to say to you, man, good luck, Godspeed, and hail and well met. Some other good sounding things like that. But mostly good luck and Godspeed. Because that sucks. I'll be sending you good vibes, man. Building owner didn't want to fix anything, so the store just said, fuck it. Yeah, I understand that. Like, you know, I'm sure the owner didn't want to close down either. Oh, too many mechs for one dropship. Well, okay, Sentient, I'm not saying a carrying dropship that carries literally all the mechs you own. Where is it? I have a Ziploc. Hang on, I'm gonna get my Ziploc. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm into 3D printing. And you might have noticed that I have a whole lot of 3D printed mechs. Like a whole lot of 3D printed mechs. An unreasonable number of 3D printed mechs. I just kind of keep making them even though I'm not painting them all. Because why the hell not? But what you may not know is that I have, at this point, kind of an unreasonable number of official CGL mechs. I don't know exactly when this happened, but yeah. Oh, there's what the awesome looks like normally. I don't want any more than this. And the Kickstarter hasn't even gone out yet. That's going to be fucking crazy. That's going to make this number of mechs look just like piddly. Got a bunch of Wolverines, number of Shadowhawks. Weirdly, what I'm running low on are Locusts and Catapults. Yeah, you can print a lot. If you really make good use of the build plate on like an Elegoo Mars, you can print a shocking number of things all at once. Oh. Yeah, I really do need to do something about this, because I can feel... like my throat is swelling. Here and here. I can feel it. I don't like this. I don't like this feeling at all. Oh. That's bad. Oh, I think I'm probably going to go ahead and end the stream here in just a minute, because, yeah, I need to go gargle with something, clear my sinuses out, and try to get on top of this so that I'm not sore-throated and incapacitated for Thursday, because that's the last thing that I want to happen. And hey, you know what? I measure these streams. I measure these streams on how much I actually get done. And I have been able to get a lot of work done on each one. This guy has happened almost entirely across 2 streams. And that's not half bad. I finished up Beast of Bodmin and I finished up Norwest on stream. So that makes almost the full Heavy Lance for Rampart Company. That's 3 mechs. These 3 done for the Heavy Lance. What do you think of them? They're kind of a motley looking crew, huh? Yeah. And the next one I'm going to be laying into, I'm going to save this guy for Thursday. I'm going to do some cav work on Thursday. I think I'll start with this guy Thursday, and then I'll phase over into Battletech, because honestly, this is a cool model. I like the design. I like the little squat legs. I have so many of these Templar calves, and I really, really need to paint them, you guys. I can't remember who said it now, but somebody was just saying that I should do a sort of a tutorial on water slide decals. This is a perfect opportunity for that, because I've got a bunch of water slide decals I want to use with this. So I'm going to make it a project to lay into these Templar calves on Thursday. Maybe work up to a point where I can do a water slide decal stream over the weekend or next week. And here's something I want you guys to do for me. Chat. Oh, there's going to be more Battletech. Don't you think for a second, Vergatarung, that there's not going to be plenty of Battletech, because I want you to do something for me, chat. I need you to pick 2 color schemes for me. Can you do that for me? When I say pick, I mean suggest. I'm going to pick them. Don't get any crazy ideas. I mean, get some crazy ideas, but then bring them back down to earth and give me the sane ideas. Pick a color scheme, or give me color ideas for this Battlemaster, who is named Gigantes, who is piloted by a bit of a nut job who punched the head out of an awesome. And come up with a color scheme for this Commando, whose arm he has ripped off and is carrying with him. Just give me a couple of colors. Please do suggest. You know, don't suggest it right now, or Coral. Go to the Thunderhead Studio Discord, go into the miniature painting channel, and suggest your colors for Gigantes. Go over there, and I'll look over the options. I'll pick something by Thursday, and we'll get rolling on them. I think that sounds like fun. You can pick schemes, too, if you have an idea like this, like Norwest wound up quartered red and white. Just nothing too complex. And I retain veto power, as always, because I just know Vergaderung is going to say something insane. He's already said something insane like 3 times, and I'm just ignoring him. So he's going to say something even crazier. Alright. Well, thank you everybody for coming out. We got a lot of work done today. We went over the ramp for the Trinity City Highway. Keep an eye on the Discord and on the Facebook for more announcements about the Trinity City Highway, because I'm going to be firing those files off to Flavolicious over at Steel Warrior Studios like in the next 48 hours. I just want to finish some details on the ramp files and print out one more tester. And then keep an eye out for the Hexless Roads, because those are coming next, and I am on a design kick right now. I have been remarkably productive in my mornings for the last few days, so keep an eye out for what's next. I've got some sort of Trinity City outskirts in the works for you. Some lower buildings, level 1 and 2, stuff like that. Something to mix up the tall buildings that I already gave you. I think it will go a long way toward making Trinity City into more than just a series of urban canyons, which is really, I'd like it to be able to fill an entire board and look natural. Dude, if you're learning, that makes me so happy. That makes me so... Vergaderung, I saw your ambulance. Flavolicious showed me. Dude, you've got... Keep working. Keep working. So far, the things of yours that I have painted, I've always enjoyed. I really like the... Oh, Ost Wolfdog. Yeah, that's happening. Industrial is on the list. Trinity City's going to keep expanding, you guys. I think it's going to be pretty cool by the time we're done with it. Oh, and yeah, go over to the Discord and post up your color ideas for Gigantes. Post up inspiration pictures, post just a color, post a color and a scheme. I'll take a look at them. We'll decide on something. Oh, OTR... There's a list. There is a list. Warehouses, low-density commercial, low-density residential, warehousing, monorail track system. Like I was saying earlier, I'm always like, oh, I got a great idea. Let me add it to the end of the fucking list. Oh my god, the list. But I'll keep plugging away at it. And if you guys keep enjoying Trinity City, I mean, it's just going to keep growing. Anyway, guys... Thank you again so much for coming out. As always, it was fun. It has been an absolute pleasure. I've had a blast. You've had a blast. We've had a blast together. Just blasting all over the place. Blast, blast, blast. Holy shit. Ugh. Alright. I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. Keep on painting.